How's everyone doing today? Good, good, we all good? That's good. Welcome to part 5 of listening to every single radio within COD Zombies history, and this is going to be Black Ops 4 Zombies for today's video. We have to go through Chaos and Ether, and we're going to start out with Ether, but I am also going to start out by saying too that for all of these maps, whenever we're going into an area where Pack-a-Punch is required to be open or power needs to be on in order for you to get to a certain radio, I'm just going to say now for all of the maps, if you don't know how to turn on power or open up Pack-a-Punch, I do have guides on my channel that I will leave linked down in the description, and I will also leave cards up in the top right-hand corner whenever there is a section where I'm talking about power or Pack-a-Punch in specific. I'm also going to say that for a lot of these radios or a lot of these messages that we're going to hear, for some of the maps, you have to pick up items and use them in certain places, which means that the items that you pick up are not going to be tied to a specific piece of audio 100% of the time. A lot of the time, it just means that whenever you pick it up and you go to place it somewhere where you need it to be placed, it's just going to play a set audio log from start to finish, and it's not going to be tied. You could pick up one piece of information somewhere and pick up a different piece of information somewhere else in a different game, and either way, it's going to be the same message. I hope that's not confusing, but it'll make more sense in a second here. And the last thing I'll say before we actually get started on these is, for this game specifically, I figured out that the zombie groaning is tied to sound effects and is not tied to voice. So I went ahead and turned down all sound effect audio, but that also means that there is a trade-off. And the trade-off is some of the radios have sound effects in them that will be cut out. It's only like a small handful of them, but a large majority of them will still have their sound effects. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because there will be long gaps in some of the radios where you'll be like, why is it just silent? What's happening? It's because there is supposed to be a sound there. It's not there because it was the only way that I could get it to where you hear the radio without there being a zombie completely like screaming throughout the whole thing. And I also did this in theater mode. You're going to see all the locations for stuff like normal, but then listening to them, you're going to hear it in theater mode because that way you don't have to deal with the audio being choppy or it's quiet at some point or something else because I'm running away. So it'll just be fluid and it should sound cleaner. I also did it this way because it's still technically in game, so deal with it. With all that out of the way, we are going to start in on not the Chaos storyline. I'm already fucking up. We're going to start in on the Ether storyline, and we're going to start with Blood of the Dead. Blood of the Dead has 5 audio reels and 5 radios. Starting with the audio reels, the first one can be located down in the showers. It's going to be right next to the dryer. The second audio reel can be found in the cafeteria. It'll be found on the left side of the mystery box location, sitting in this corner. The next one can be found up inside the infirmary. If you're coming from the cafeteria and you enter on the right side, you'll see it in this corner near the operating table. Audio reel number 4 is going to be found inside the new industries building in the back right corner near where you can make the magma gat. And then the 5th and final audio reel is going to be found inside the powerhouse near spawn. If you just come over to where the mystery box location is, it's going to be found in this corner on the left side. All 5 of these radios come from Dr. Maxis, and the first one can be found inside of the library where the old spawn was from Mob of the Dead. It'll be sitting on this bookshelf. The second radio can be found all the way down at the docks. If you come down to this mystery box location, and on the left side in the corner, it'll be sitting right here near where the old, the sniper tower trap was. Radio number 3 can be found at the very bottom of the Citadel tunnels where the number panel is. If you go down the right side where these stairs are, it's going to be found in the corner right here. Radio number 4 can be found inside of the warden's house. If you enter and then go to this couch or this sofa on the left side, it'll be sitting directly underneath. And then the 5th and final radio can be found at the back end of Michigan Avenue. It'll be sitting directly underneath this cart in the corner.
The time has come. The sponge is wet on my crown. The cap screws tightened. The switch in my hand. Oh, I'm going to burn. Oh, the fools. They want justice for the toll I've extracted from this forsaken island.
Sir, there's some men from the Bureau here. I stalled them as long as I could, but they're on their way to your office now. What do you want me to tell them?
Justice. There is no such thing. There's only the will of the Dark One.
Okay. I'll just tell him you're not feeling so well then, yeah?
Do as you wish. Run, hide, beg for absolution, and perhaps he will be merciful, as he has been with me.
Shh. Do not weep, my dear Warden.
My lord, you're here.
Of course, more or less. The threshold awaits, my friend.
Yes. Yes, the threshold. One last flash of light, and the sun shall vanish into the sea.
And the darkness?
The darkness shall spread. Through every fiber of creation it shall spread.
Listen, I told you, he ain't here. Went to see some special doc on the mainland. You guys are wasting your time.
I shall be its instrument.
Oh, come on, guys, cut me a break.
I shall bleed the chosen few.
Better hurry.
The gateway will open, and paradise will fall. Ah!
Yeah. See there? What'd I tell you? Nobody's home. Nothing here.
No! Contraption!
Hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Apologies, my lord. I am here.
Calm, faithful Warden, calm. I bring glad news. The world that you seek is near at hand.
Oh, thank you, my lord. Thank you. I've done my best to prepare the way. Please, where are you now?
Hidden. Trapped. Waiting.
I see. Tell me what I must do.
4 souls in your possession, 4 arriving soon. With the first, you will transform the island. Salvatore DeLuca, Finn O'Leary, Billy Handsome, Al Arlington.
Salvatore, Finn, Billy, Al. Yes, my lord, I know these names.
Their sins shall be their undoing. Their eternal punishment through your sacrifice will ensnare another. His ultimate reckoning.
A trap for another. Forgive my ignorance, Lord, but how will I know what to do?
Sir, it's me, Stanley. We have a situation.
Damn the situation, Ferguson. You handle it. I am not to be disturbed.
Wait. Listen.
I'm real sorry to interrupt your prayers, sir. But there's been a murder up on the roof. It's Al Arlington.
Arlington.
Yes, sir. Part of some kind of botched escape attempt. We got Sal DeLuca and his 2 cronies in custody. Looks like it was them.
I'll be right there.
I'll be right there. My lord, I entreat thee to speak. I have done as you asked. The remaining 3 of the first 4 shall die by electric chair this evening, and soon after I shall join them. It will be glorious in this new realm, Lord, I have no doubt, but I confess, I am afraid. This form is weak and has taken to drink, but I do cling to it still. Please, grant me the strength to...
Grant you the strength? Oh, you poor, pathetic wretch. I will grant you nothing until your death. You know this.
Yes, my lord, of course. My life is part of the disease, and the disease must be purged. I rejoice that day has come.
But you are a base, disgusting creature that cannot help fearing for its own skin. It is not your fault.
Oh, thank you for saying so, my lord. Truth be told, I long for the miracle that will release me.
That's a good lad. You have been an adequate servant. Therefore you will continue to serve after the corruption.
Such an honor for me.
Not an honor. A purpose. Your life's sentence. Waiting for Dr. Edward Richtofen to walk into the trap.
The Doctor. I've heard mention of him amongst the Illuminati. What would you have of him?
His blood holds great power. You will harness it all and open the way to the paradise below.
I swear, my lord, it will be done.
And one more thing.
Name it, my lord.
Spare him no pain.
Yes, Richtofen shall suffer. Ah, today is a red-letter occasion. I sit in my sanctuary, brandy in hand, overlooking my prize. My prison. Mine. A temple of concrete and corrupted flesh, tilting on the axis of hell itself. Oh, it is beautiful. Oh, I can't recall the last time I indulged in spirits. They appear to have gone to my head. Congratulations and good luck. So thoughtful of the DOJ to send me a bottle after all their posturing and blathering and delays. Delays! But now the island is open. A full year early, thanks to me. And its true purpose. Our purpose. Written in the apocryphal pages of history. Pulled from the flames of ignorance. Oh. Yeah. Glass. The first drop of blood. Of course. It should be my own. Not too much now. Not yet. Oh. Early to bed tonight. Tomorrow, I will be reborn. What am I doing wrong? Nothing. Every interpretation by every scholar I have made real in flesh and blood, and still the Dark Ones remain silent. They are deaf, blind, and dumb wherever it is they reside in the fabric of reality. Have I not bled the wicked? Have I not placed the markers on the proper lines? What more? What more? I am tired, and I have grown so very disturbed waiting for the release that was promised, but I fear will never be delivered. Because they do not exist. No. Wretched are the thralls who despair in darkness. Wretched, wretched, wretched! The work will continue, with or without the Illuminati. All they do is talk and scheme and pass judgment on methods that they deem unorthodox. What the hell with their protection? I will awaken this island, even if it takes every last soul in her walls. If I fail, I will be locked in here, and soon join them all in hell. The result is the same.
Richtofen, are you there? Richtofen, most incredible... The blood! It does far more than its dimension of origin. As though the paradox factor wasn't enough. If my observation... The blood itself is the paradox. We know the body is changed at the cellular level crucial to element 115, resulting in side effects ranging from memory and death. But the moment a body steps through a portal, 115, different reaction. The blood, indeed all tissues, appear to mutate and then stabilize when exposed to alternate space-time realities. And while delusions and memory are factors, the blood is imbued etheric energy. Herr Doctor, they searched for since the very beginning. Your blood might not only save you, Edvard, change everything. I only hope to survive long enough to harness it. Toten, I must be brief. Others may now be listening. He has ears everywhere these days. The Force is keeping you in that dimension know too much about your nature, and it is clear to me now that their power is too great to leave unchecked. Total dimensional collapse is the only option. This is the only way they will stop hunting you long enough for you to complete your mission. By now I have deduced that you must be trapped in the Alcatraz pocket dimension. Do not be disappointed. The location of your secret lab remains a secret to most, just not me. I also know about the backup plan you have stashed away. If I may be so bold, I would recommend using it and eliminate the threat of Alcatraz for good. I can do no more from here. Best of luck, Edvard. I know you will not fail. Richtofen! I now believe that either you have been killed or you are currently trapped in a pocket dimension. Worst case, imprisoned by those who mean to undo existence. In the off chance that you are still on the move, I may have a solution. The power of your blood could theoretically be used to open a portal and escape your present reality. If you can direct and focus enough energy through your blood, you may be able to tear a hole through the ether and step through. How much blood will be required, I do not know. But given the concentration of ether in your veins, it's likely best to not overdo it. And there is more. I recall you mentioned something about needing protection for you and your companions. You are right to worry. The blood vials alone preserve aspects of other dimensions, yes. But if you were to ingest them, combine their ether with your own, that would be a formidable insurance policy. There we are. There we are. Can't get this almost there. There we are. Who would have thought that erythrocytes would ever be used as a trans-dimensional conduit? Yes, greetings, Herr Doctor. I have managed to use part of your sample to boost the signal of my transmissions. However, I have yet to receive any reply from your end. I pray that I am not too late. New findings have come to light. Yes, the moment one travels through a portal powered by element 115, their blood is changed. The evidence is conclusive. Today, I have discovered that the effect is actually cumulative. The more one travels through the ether, the more they absorb into their bodies. While undeath does not appear to ever be a risk, the potency of one's etheric cells increases. The blood of the prisoners you sampled and that of your now frozen compatriots contained trace but significant amounts. But your blood, Edvard, you have traveled through countless realities of space and time. Your blood is not only beyond potent, I fear it is a profound liability. We both know there are forces who would stop at nothing to attain such power. You must do all you can to keep it from them, Richtofen. Unless, of course, they already have you, and then all is lost. Richtofen, come in, Richtofen. Edvard, are you receiving me? Wherever you have gone, it appears to be our connection through the ether. How this is possible, I do not know, but I deduce two things for certain. First, The interference cannot naturally occurring phenomenon. The energy required is be too great and complex. 1 second, if not natural, then someone very powerful moves against you, companions. I pray it's already too late. Everything depends on summoning key. Without it, and without the souls you promised, vision will never come to pass. And will prevail. As for the blood, I have come to believe that your hypothesis a revelation. I will continue the work, but Richtofen, what you can to boost the signal. If you have the means, antenna array would like this. Stay alive, Toten. Keep them safe. With any luck, you will see again soon.
Next, we're going to be switching over to Classified, and to be fair, this is my favorite Ether map on BO4. I don't care what anyone has to say about it. I like this map a lot because I missed 5, and when this came out, this was like the second coming of Christ for me. On the downside, Classified fucking sucks when it comes to radios because it has 7 punch cards, 5 audio reels, 5 film reels. It has 3 red telephones and 4 Samantha Wisps.
I said, God help me.
So we're just going to start on it. Starting out with the audio reels, there's going to be 5, like I said, but this first one can be found inside of the main offices. If you come to this desk in the middle in front of the perk machine, it's right there. The second one can be found inside of the central filing area of the map. It'll be underneath this coffee table in the left side corner. Audio reel number 3 is going to be found inside of the server room. If you go to the back right corner, it's going to be sitting below and behind this cart right here. The fourth audio reel can be found on the upper level of the war room. If you come in between the 2 DEFCON switches, it'll be sitting on top of this server. And then the 5th and final audio reel is going to be found inside of Pack-a-Punch. As soon as you spawn into Groom Lake, if you round this left side, you'll see it sitting on top of this shelf right here. For these film reels, I'm going to start out by saying that it does not matter which order you pick these up in, as the order of messages played will always be the same no matter what. And that's what I was trying to say at the beginning of the video, but I made it sound all super confusing. So again, you can pick these up in any order. It doesn't matter. You'll always hear the same message first, second, and third. When you do pick up a film reel, you need to bring it down to the laboratories inside of the morgue, and you'll see this projector sitting right here. And that's where you'll place it in order to hear the message. But either way, this first film reel can be found sitting inside the morgue on top of this sink right here. It'll be on the corner. The second film reel can be found inside of porcine research, also down in the laboratories. It'll be sitting on top of this sink right in front of you right here. Film reel number 3 is going to be found on the backside of this desk in central filing. It's going to be kind of in the corner a little bit. The next one is on the lower level of the war room. If you come from the upper level and you take a left down these stairs, you'll find it sitting on top of this computer terminal right here. And then the 5th and final film reel is going to be found inside of the server room. If you're coming from the lower level of the war room, on the left side, you'll see this shelf right here. It's going to be sitting in there. So now we're on to the punch cards, and these punch cards work very similarly to how the film reels work. It doesn't matter which order you pick these up in, the same order of messages is going to play no matter what. But there is a small Easter egg we do have to finish first before we can actually get these to play. Make your way down to the weapon testing area inside of the laboratories, and you'll see this cabinet or this locker in the back right side corner near the crafting bench, and you're going to see this machine on the middle shelf. If you pick it up, you can then place it inside of this server in the back left corner of the server room. Once you place it inside the server, if you go to Pack-a-Punch and get a double Pack-a-Punched weapon with the kilowatt ammo mod on it, or like ammo effect, I don't know what they call them. Either way, get kilowatt on it. After you've done that, go back to the server and shoot it with the kilowatt weapon until all those lights underneath turn green. And once they are, there's going to be a glass case on top that begins to shut and close. Once that closes, if you turn around in the middle of the the room, there's going to be this computer terminal here, and it will now be activated. That is the punch card reader. Once you find a punch card, you can insert it there, and then it will begin to read out the message to you. The first punch card of 7 is going to be located at Pack-a-Punch. Once you spawn in there, in front of you on the left side, sitting on this box, there's going to be the first one. The next one can be found inside of the panic room. It'll be at the back right side where the wall opens up, tucked inside of these books. Punch card number 3 is going to be found inside of the main offices. On top of this desk, there's going to be a typewriter, and on the typewriter, that is where the punch card is going to be. For the next punch card, you can find this one inside of central filing. If you come over to this zombie spawn right here, you'll find it sticking out of the filing cabinets. Make your way to weapon testing down in the laboratories, and you're going to find the 5th punch card sitting on top of this target. It'll be pinned to the head. On the upper level of the war room, if you come in between the 2 DEFCON switches, you'll find the 6th punch card sitting in this little film holder, or like this film reel holder. And then the 7th and final punch card is going to be found directly to the right side of the punch card reader. It's going to be shoved in between the 2 server terminals right here. Next, we're going to go over the 3 red phones, and my god, these kind of suck to explain. Like, doing it is easy, but then explaining it is a different story. Either way, there's 3 of them, but you won't get the messages to play until you activate the 3rd telephone. What I mean is, you have to go with your kilowatt weapon to each of the 3 phones and shoot them, and when you shoot all 3 of them, on that 3rd one that you shoot, that is when the message will start playing. These messages also play in a set order. No matter which order you shoot them in, whatever your 3rd one is, the first message will always be the same, so will the 2nd, and so will the 3rd. The first red phone can be found directly outside of spawn in this hallway. It'll be in the back left corner, and it's the red hallway, or the one that I call the red hallway. The second phone can be found down inside the laboratories across from the power switch, sitting on this desk, you'll find it. And then the 3rd and final one is going to be in the panic room, right on the left side up against the wall right when you enter. Each time you shoot a phone, there's going to be a red flashing light on it, and each time you shoot it, that red light is going to disappear, and the phone will also ring once. But also, just for example, say that you shoot the 3rd one and it's in the, I don't know, we'll say the panic room. Say it's in the panic room. You're then going to hear your message play from the panic room, right? Well, then for your 2nd one, start with the panic room, go somewhere else, and say your 3rd one finishes off inside of the laboratories. There you go. That's all you have to do. You have to go to each one a total of 3 times and make sure that your 3rd one is different from the one that you did last. Finally, on Classified, we have the Samantha Wisps, and these are specific to each character. So when you're playing in solo, there's only going to be 1 Wisp on the map, and then there's going to be more depending on how many more people you have in your game. Now, because these are character specific, you're going to see a bunch of different clips here, but either way, the first one that we're going to cover is Richtofen. Richtoffens can be found at the back of Porcine Research through this zombie spawn right here. Dempsey's Wisp is going to be inside of weapon testing. If you look through this zombie spawn right here, you'll find it there. Takio's Wisp is also going to be right outside of weapon testing. If you look through this zombie spawn, you'll see it on the floor in the right side. And then Nikolai's Wisp is going to be inside the morgue, inside that little room. If you look at all these canisters, it's going to be on the bottom little section right where there's a missing canister.
You have made progress, Dr. Lehman.
Yes? Yes. So, as you know, our success with the undead experimentation has been limited.
Yes, we've achieved the same benchmarks as Max's, but as with his trials, they refuse to obey orders.
That's right. We can't control them. We can't make them docile. But I believe I've cracked it.
I'm listening.
Okay, last month, our man inside the Ascension group sent us copies of Dr. Richtofen's diary. Now, I've been poring over it, following his research, and
That doesn't seem very docile to me.
just watch. Stand back, Dr. Schuster. I promise you, it's quite safe. Walk.
Incredible. It's completely subservient. How did you achieve this?
Well, I vaporized element 115, brought it to a gaseous state. The specimen inhaled it.
Inhaled it?
And unfortunately, it had to be done while the specimen was still alive.
While they were still alive? Good heavens, man, did you...
Look, the soldier was going to die anyway. Uh, um, Doctor? Are you all right?
Oh, my apologies, Layman. I'm distracted by the eyes. They're yellow.
10 out of 10 trials. Docile and obeying commands. And it's activated with living subjects.
That's correct, Colonel. Completely subservient.
And you've achieved all this with a chemical gas?
That is correct, Colonel. Dr. Layman has successfully transformed Element 115 into a chemical weapon.
Do you know what this means, Dr. Lehman? What the potential of this gas could be?
Um, yes, but more importantly, we've gotten these creatures to obey our commands, as Richtofen and Maxis would have wanted.
Oh, to hell with them! This gas, if you released it over Moscow, you could end this Cold War tomorrow. Dr. Schuster, when can we bring this to full production?
With some additional testing, 6 weeks.
That's perfect.
Hold on a damn minute, okay? That's not what this is all about. A chemical weapon is nothing! We're talking about building an undead army here. How do you not all get that? It's what I'm supposed to do. It's what I've been ordered to do.
What's gotten into you, Dr. Lehman?
What's gotten into me? We're not following her orders. She told me to do this. It's what we have to do, not waste our time with this bullshit.
Excuse me, Doctor. Do we have a problem?
No, Colonel, no problem. We'll get it done.
Be sure you do.
What the devil has gotten into you?
I'm sorry. Look, I'm not sure what happened. Okay, it's that damned diary. Ever since I started reading it, I'm hearing things like a voice in my head.
Pull yourself together. This is a major breakthrough. Be proud of your work.
Don't worry. I still hear you. They are fools. It will be done.
October 10th, 19...
You've done what, Dr. Richtofen?
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you not see the microphone in my hand? Recording for posterity is important. Ahem. October 10th, 1945.
You've made a deal with the Americans?
And the Russians. You can't forget them.
But our work, this war...
The war is over, Dr. Schuster. It is my responsibility to ensure the work of Group 935 continues.
But these deals... It would mean the end of Group 935. The Americans and the Russians would tear us apart. Everything we stood for.
Everything this organization stood for died the day Dr. Maxis made that infernal deal with the Reichstag. You and I both know this to be true. Listen to me and understand. Our technological developments with 115 are the envy of the entire world. These agreements guarantee our work will continue in America and Russia, and that they will continue with our scientists at the helm. I am sorry, but for our work to live on, Group 935 must come to an end. Oh, cheer up, Dr. Schuster. I have asked that you go to the Americans. It will be good for your softer side.
You will not go to America?
Nor to Russia. Once Dr. Groff confirms that the MPD is ready, we will proceed with Operation Shield as planned. And then, I have a date with destiny.
What are you getting out of this deal, Dr. Richtofen?
A feeling of fulfillment that I've saved my fellow scientists from the unemployment line and possibly prison.
Edward, please.
Don't you worry about me, Dr. Schuster. I will be well taken care of.
They do not understand, right? They don't see what you are trying to accomplish. I will show them. They want it weaponized? I will show them what weaponized does. Soon, they will know.
Dr. Lehman, I was told you might be down here. Dr. Lehman, what are you doing?
I am doing what I have to do. You all must understand.
That is the facility's air filtration system. If you release the gas...
Then you will all learn a hard lesson in how disobeying her wishes has consequences.
Damn it! Where are the gas masks? What have you done?
I'm sorry. I have to get her out of my head. Goodbye, Dr. Schuster.
Wait! Is this your doing, Samantha? Are you there? We're truly doomed. Log entry 97, August 3rd, 1963. The matter transference device has been realigned. Again, in order to accommodate additional temporal variables. This is test number 11, human subject 5, one Private Hastings. If the transference specs are correct, Private Hastings will arrive at Griffin Station on August 3rd, 1963. If he arrives at this date, a communication link will be successfully established and we will have confirmed that the teleporter's temporal anomalies have been compensated for. Are you ready, Private Hastings?
Yes, sir.
I can't understand a word of what he's saying in that ridiculous spacesuit. A simple thumbs up will suffice, Private Hastings. Good. Initiate the transference matrix. Moment of truth. Dr. Richards, did it work? Do we have a stable connection?
No, sir. Nothing. We've lost him.
That's the 5th man we've lost. This base is rapidly running out of privates. Oh, I suppose they're all just dancing around on the moon somewhere in the far future, having a grand old time. Wait, what's happening? Richards, what did you do?
Nothing, sir. Something's coming through.
Hit the alarm. Get me Pennell. We need soldiers here immediately. Who the hell are you? Where did you go? Wait. No. No, it's not possible.
Major George Sawyer, personal log, January 20th, 1946. After speaking with Major Staver this morning, I can confirm Operation Stapler has been a resounding success. While our officers met with the Soviet representatives to negotiate the fair split of Group 935's research, our operatives quietly extracted 40 of its scientists and their families. In the coming days, they're to be officially hired as War Department special employees. To our knowledge, the Soviets have yet to realize what we've done. Since the discovery of the depository near Groom Lake in '37, our progress has been minimal. Our hope is that these scientists will provide us the edge we desperately need for our Element 115 research program. All of this would not have been possible without the help of one Dr. Edward Richthofen. When he reached out to us last August, he promised unfettered access to Group 935's research in exchange for providing safe harbor for its scientists. While we may not have secured all the research, we did get the scientists, the brain trust. If we do ever locate Dr. Richthofen, I would like to shake his hand and thank him personally for the great service he has provided to the United States of America.
This is Dr. Schuster, personal log, June 27th, 1947. With the help of Major Sawyer and Operation Stapler, I began employment at the Pentagon. I'm assigned to their 115 division, which focuses on R&D of the element. While I am grateful for this opportunity, I have my reservations. Element 115 is a resource with potentially infinite applications. Yet the only thing these scientists and the Pentagon seem concerned with are our undead experiments. I made it clear to them that my own work with Group 935 was primarily focused on its teleportation technologies. If they wanted my help with that, I would gladly oblige, but the idea of resuming undead experimentation horrified me. The room went silent. Clearly, they were not satisfied with my answer. Finally, Major Sawyer asked why. I was blunt, perhaps too blunt, and told them what happened at Griffin Station, about Maxis's daughter Samantha, about the MPD, about the undead outbreak, about everything. If we resumed experimentation, there was no guarantee she wouldn't take control of them just as she had done the others. More importantly, there was no guarantee she wouldn't kill us all, as her father instructed her. I told them all this, and do you know what happened? They laughed.
I'm just a little confused, Dr. Schuster. You've already successfully established a teleporter link between the Pentagon and Groom Lake.
The Pentagon to Groom Lake is child's play, a distance of 3,890 kilometers. What we're talking about now is a distance of 380,000 kilometers.
But it can be done.
Of course, Colonel Sawyer, but I had 2 years to perfect the link to Groom Lake. The timetable you've given me to establish a link to the moon is far more aggressive.
Do I need to remind you what we're up against? Dr. Richtofen told us about Griffin Station back in '45. From what we've discovered, he told the Soviets the same thing. The Soviets achieved teleportation 2 years before we did. If they get to the moon first, they get to claim Griffin Station.
Yes, I know all about your adorable space race. But need I remind you that if this teleporter becomes operational, even a single mathematical error could lead to catastrophic results? Yes, it will take you to the moon. I have little worry over where it will take you. I worry about when.
What? Time travel? Give me a break.
Precisely. If the specifications are not exact, we could create temporal rifts with ripple effects that will undo the very fabric of space-time itself. Simply put, don't rush. Science moves at its own pace.
Just get it done, Doctor. You have 2 weeks before we begin testing.
Washington's words have lingered with me these last few days. To be prepared for war is one of the most effective means of preserving peace. Mankind has always prepared for war because we face an enemy we know intimately, our fellow man. In a way, we are the only enemy we have ever truly known. But now, I sit here with the Groom Lake report in my hand and I contemplate an enemy beyond our comprehension. An entity with the powers of a god that can manipulate time, space, and the very nature of other beings. The evidence is clear. A trail of carnage can be tracked. October 21st, 1945, the Rising Sun Research Facility. October 28th, 1945, Group 935's Deriza Facility. April 25th, 1956, the Himalayas. Now, I am no stranger to undead experimentation, nor their outbreaks. I've read Purnell's reports on the airfield and asylum incidents. The undead may be a concern, but they are not the threat. Without a leader, they are mindless and uncoordinated. But the idea of a being that commands an undead army with seemingly unlimited resources, that gives them marching orders to strike at any time and any place, how do you prepare for war with that? How do you protect America? How do you protect the planet? One of the scientists we acquired from Group 935, Dr. Schuster, I believe is his name, claims to be familiar with the entity. He says her name is Samantha. This Samantha may be the greatest threat our nation has ever faced. Certainly more than that from the Soviet Union or Cuba, for they are just men. And my contacts on the ground now confirm it. On October 28th, the entity known as Samantha attacked an abandoned theater in Berlin. This marks her first attack in 9 years. The location she chose is interesting. In 1940, the German High Command repurposed it as a Group 935 facility. That makes this the third Group 935 operation that Samantha has targeted. The Berlin incident has forced us to reevaluate the recent Pentagon outbreak. We had previously assumed it was a contained affair, but must now acknowledge the possibility that Samantha played a role. I've made arrangements for the President and Castro to discuss the Broken Arrow Initiative. If Samantha poses as great a threat as it seems, we must put aside our differences. No nation alone can defeat her. An alliance must be formed. We must reach across the metaphorical aisle. The meeting will be held here at the Pentagon in the coming days. Dick will be joining us for some reason. Jack requested he attend. Regretfully, I am forced to admit that Purnell was perhaps correct. If we use the Broken Arrow Initiative to harness the power of this Element 115, we could build a better world and be prepared for war with Samantha. I've given Roebuck the coordinates of the Berlin incident for safekeeping. He'll log them, along with all the others.
This is Groom Lake Station Chief Cornelius Purnell. Personal log, March 11th, 1961. After being unable to get McElroy or Gates to see the light, I hoped my meeting with McNamara would fare better, but I had no such luck. For years now, DoD have run experiments with their 115 division, but we're the ones with all the supply. I told McNamara we have the Fort Knox of Element 115 right next to our nuclear testing site. If we combined resources and work together instead of simply bartering resources, Groom Lake could receive the funding to properly mine the materials and expand experimentation. But no, McNamara was uninterested. Another Secretary of Defense, another bust for Project Broken Arrow. Personal log, February 23rd, 1963. With construction of the moon teleporter ongoing, a number of scientists from the Pentagon's 115 division have been stationed on site here at Groom Lake. Dr. Schuster, head of the operation, continues to be full of surprises. He's been telling me these stories about an evil little girl named Samantha, that she can control the undead. I asked Colonel Sawyer about it, and he told me to pay it no mind. Apparently everybody's been laughing off Schuster's stories for years now. But then, yesterday, Schuster says he has proof. He claims this Samantha is responsible for several outbreaks over the last 20 years. He rattles off a bunch of names, and one of them was the Rising Sun facility. I lost a good man there, Peter McCain, and never got an explanation for it. I've decided to investigate this further. Personal log, July 29th, 1963. I've spent the last several months combing through archives and conducting extensive research. And I can't believe what I'm about to say, but this is real. This girl, creature, entity, this being possesses a very real and very dangerous power. Fortunately, as of now, her attacks have been contained. But if she were to choose to unleash fury, she could wipe us off the map. And not just the United States, she could destroy everyone. But there is an opportunity here. To combat this threat, the Pentagon's going to need to significantly increase their 115 operation. To support that, they'll need greater access to our gold mine at Groom Lake. Project Broken Arrow is the key to all of this. 2 birds, 1 stone. We'll combat a threat to national security, and I'll secure the funding for my program and its operations. I'm drafting a report on the incidents. I plan to present it to McNamara in the coming weeks. Personal log, September 3rd, 1963. The discussion with McNamara was a resounding success. His plans for it are bigger than I ever thought possible. Fools. It was so easy. All those hawks over there think about is war. I offered them a morsel, a nugget, and had the meeting out of the palm of my hand. Yeah, well, good riddance. They'll get their war, and I'll get my riches. They want to destroy this Samantha? It's so narrow-minded. Why destroy her when we can take her power and harness it for ourselves? With the amount of element 115 buried down there, just imagine what we could do. We could mold the earth anew, create it in our image. A toast. Here's to Dr. Schuster for gifting me this opportunity. When we get the excavator up and running at the test site, I'll be sure to get him access. And here's to Broken Arrow. And to opening new worlds. Broken Arrow. Dream of mine for many years. When I joined the company, you know what I did? What I cut my teeth on? I sent men to their deaths. I was a handler. First for the OSS, then the CIA. I oversaw ops, and I sent in men to die. I was a bow. They were my arrows. Smokey, John Banana, and Peter McCain, Tank Dempsey. The list goes on and on. So many men lost. But my ops were good. Job well done. Pats on the back for Purnell. So, I climbed the ladder and eventually became station chief here. And spent much of my time, now that I think about it, in this very room. After we'd mined the element 115, we'd store it in here. I would stare at it for hours. I got lost in it. And then one day, it just clicked. I had to do what Group 935 failed to do. I would build a program to harness its power. I was tired of killing. I wanted to create technological marvels, help humanity, improve the human condition, and who knows, maybe even bring the dead back to life. Repair the broken arrow, if you will. Now, I have the perfect subject. This is Cornelius Purnell, Report 639, August 3rd, 1963. Earlier today, while Dr. Schuster was performing test number 11, we had an unexpected arrival through the teleporter. We've been unable to verify what year they came from. Our struggle with temporal anomalies during teleportation is well documented, but we are certain of where they came from. The moon. This event alone is baffling enough and is without explanation. But it becomes downright absurd when you take into account that I know 2 of the 4 individuals. Corporal Tank Dempsey of the United States Marine Corps, who I knew personally and was declared KIA after a failed rescue op to recover Peter McCain. And Dr. Edward Richtofen from Group 935, who went missing weeks after we formalized the agreement to initiate Operation Stapler. I didn't recognize the other 2, but they and Corporal Dempsey were in a delusional near catatonic state. Medical evaluation shows they've suffered from excessive element 115 exposure. And quoting our medic, "I'm not even sure how they're still alive." As for Dr. Richtofen, initially we believed him DOA. Upon closer examination, we discovered his body is very much alive, just zero brain activity. How it came to be that these 4 men were on the moon, we may never know. However, for the immediate future, we'll be keeping them here at Groom Lake. They are ideal candidates for additional 115 testing. This is Cornelius Purnell, report 715, October 13th, 1963. I'm filing this report on behalf of Private Gordon. Private Gordon was working graveyard in Hangar 4, where our new test subjects are being kept. At 0300 this morning, Private Gordon reports a, quote, bright blue oval-shaped light beam materialized in the room, end quote. Out of said light beam stepped, and I quote, a zombie dressed in a World War II German military uniform. This zombie did not interact with Private Gordon, but instead slowly walked up to the comatose body of Dr. Edward Richtofen, who, up until now, we've been unable to resuscitate. Private Gordon then observed this zombie touching the body of Dr. Richtofen, at which point the zombie turned to ash, and Dr. Richtofen immediately let out a guttural shriek and began cackling. I cannot verify Private Gordon's story, but what I can tell you is that as of this morning, Dr. Richtofen is very much alive, and he is very animated. So much so, we've since had to have him sedated.
They are fools, ignorant, petulant fools. They blindly follow him. Sheep herded by a false shepherd, a wolf wearing human flesh. They must know not to trust him. It's instinctive. In the darkest recesses of their minds, a voice screams out, warning them. But they don't know why. They don't know what he did. They were all prisoners of war, left to rot. Nobody cared if they lived or died, so we took them, Group 935. We just didn't know how far he takes the experiments. The amount of element 115 he pumped through them, I'm surprised any of them survived Siberia. And now they follow him, taking orders from the very man who broke them, fried their brains. The MPD, the ether, it corrupted him, as it did my Samantha, as it does any who touch it. The temptation of unlimited power, it will destroy everything. If Richtofen gains control, there will be no turning back. We will be forced to take drastic measures. But they can stop him now. Put an end to this madness. They just need to make sure he doesn't make it back here. If only they remember. But they won't, will they? They will help him until the bitter end, beyond the point of no return. Because that is the nature of sheep.
Hello? It is so quiet here. It is always so quiet. I have been alone for so long. But it is also so loud. All these voices, there are so many, and they speak all at once. They are angry, always so angry. They say these things about the future and the past. So many words. I'm scared. But Edward cannot come here. This place is not meant for him.
Hello? Is this thing on? Richtofen! Hey, Richtofen! You've been gone from my head a really long time. I gotta be honest, I'm freaking out a bit, man. It's so quiet. I can actually hear myself think. Do you know what that's like? It's not nice at all. So, listen, buddy, old pal, we gotta talk. You sent us here, of all places, but you forgot to tell us what to do. It's dark, it's damp, it's just really filthy. I think the roaches are crawling with roaches. How is that even possible? Wait, shoot. Am I even talking to the right Richtofen? Oh, you could be the other one, right? Or the other one. Yeah, you know what? Just go talk to your Richtofen pals at the hoity-toity Ricky Gang Clubhouse and find out what the we're supposed to be doing.
Stupid, silly, smelly Teddy. You think you are so big and scary. But a man with such a big brain, your head is hollow. Nothing inside. You think they do not notice the people you hurt. But they know. They remember. We remember. Do you even remember what you did to Daddy? What you did to my baby? Of course you do. You just do not care. Because you are obsessed. Stupid, stubborn, selfish Teddy. I know you hear voices. I hear them too. Do you know what they tell me? They say you cannot come here. I hope you are having fun, Edward. Because if my puppets do not kill you, I will do it myself. I will pull you apart like a little doll, limb by limb, until all your stuffing comes out. Oh, Dempsey, another big, tough man without a brain. Always a good soldier. Always the American savage. And always so gleefully killing my puppets. Who are you always talking to? I hear you do it. Even when the others aren't around. You are like a tacky doll. Speaking to people who aren't there. Maybe Teddy did break you. But you can stop him. It could be so easy. Just pull the trigger and pop! No more, Teddy! What is it you want? Do you want to stop fighting? Do you want to go home? Do you want your memories back? The ones he took from you? Kill him for me, and I will give you everything! Takeo Masaki! Always talking about honor and your ancient samurai ways? But you are just so... boring! Takeo the loyal servant. Takeo the lapdog. Takeo everything boy. That's just who you are, Takeo. A follower, not a leader. Join me, Takeo. Kill Edward, and I will restore your honor. After all, a good dog should be rewarded, not neglected. Why does he get to have all the fun, Nikolai? Why does Teddy get to make all the rules? Is it because Nikolai is smelly? No. Is it because Nikolai likes funny drinks? No. Is it because Nikolai is sad? No. It is because you settled. You settled for being a supporting role in your own life. I understand. You lost everyone and everything you loved. And then, slowly, you lost yourself. But you were not always this way. When you were young, your spirit was strong. You were not content with playing second fiddle. But that man no longer exists. Well, he no longer exists in you. Did you find my little present, Nikolai? The little something I left for you? I bet you didn't even recognize him. Time is a cruel mistress.
The next map, high B tier in my opinion, Alpha Omega, also has a lot of radios, so we're going to cover that real quickly, or as quickly as we can. This map has 3 audio reels, 5 film reels, it has 5 punch cards, 3 audio players, and 5 radios. It also has a bunch of quotes from Rushmore, almost forgot his name, from Rushmore, but his quotes are a little bit different. They just give you lore, more backstory on the map itself, so I'm going to cover those last. But we're going to start out here with the audio reels. This first one can be found inside of the site entrance. If you come over to this little tent outside the map right here, it'll be sitting on top of this desk. The second one can be found inside the cul-de-sac. If you come over to where the entrance to the yellow bus is, inside of it, you'll see the radio or the audio reel sitting right here. And then the third and final audio reel is going to be down inside of storage. If you look outside the map right here on this very back shelf, you can kind of see it up top. Go ahead and shoot all 3 of these and then they will activate. The film reels, by this point, you already know the drill. It doesn't matter which one you pick up first. They all play messages in the same order, but whenever you want to play a message, if you make your way into the house where Rushmore is located, inside the garage, that is where the film projector is going to be. The first film reel you can find inside the backyard of the greenhouse. If you come over to this little planter, it's going to be found sitting on this corner right here. And then the second one can be found inside the backyard of the yellow house. If you make your way over to this table in the back, it'll be sitting right here. The third film reel can be found if you're making your way up to the APD from Solitary. If you look at this desk right here, there's a TV on the floor. It's just sitting on top of that TV. The fourth film reel can be found inside the center street. If you look at this sign where it says powers in this direction, it's sitting on top of that sign. And then the fifth and final film reel is going to be found inside the transfusion facility or the Brown House. It's going to be sitting inside this bookshelf right next to the wall by. Next up on the docket, we have punch cards, and these work similarly to how they worked in Classified, but there is no long overblown like mini Easter egg that you have to do to get these to play. All you have to do whenever you find a punch card is make sure power's on and come up to the top of APD interrogation. You can then place it here in this machine. The first punch card you can find at the power switch. It's going to be on the right side leaning up against this box right here. The second one can be found if you're leaving the generators in the bunker going to the beds. You can find it sitting on these boxes. The third one you can find on a blue car in the middle of the map where the main street is. For punch card number 4, you can find that down inside of APD control. If you're leaving towards the rest of the bunker, you can then find it in this corner right here sitting on this crate. And then the 5th and final punch card you can find inside the diner. It's going to be sitting like on the buffet or the snack line right here. Dr. Maxis also has 5 radios that you can interact with, but these ones you have to interact with in a specific order, and we'll get to that right now, but these ones you also have to tune specifically. It's super easy, and there's not really much explaining to go on, but whenever you reach a radio, you can interact with the right side or the left side of the turn dial, and it will tune the radio. You just have to interact with it until Maxis starts talking. That's literally it. So just turn it in either direction until he starts. The first one is going to be found on the kitchen countertop inside of the greenhouse. The next one is located in the middle floor of APD interrogation. It'll be in the corner sitting on this desk. The third one you can find, it'll be inside of the prisoner holding area of the map. It'll be sitting on this desk near the front entrance. The fourth one is going to be in the corner of the lounge. It's going to be sitting like right up on the elevated part, like walkway right here. And then the 5th and final Dr. Maxis radio is going to be found inside of the diner. And this one is the shortest one by far, and it's like in the middle of the diner. We're still not done with Alpha Omega, as we still have 2 more sections to go through, with the first one being the Rushmore recordings. He only has 3 of those, and the first one can be found down inside of the generators. If you come over to this big-ass vent over in the corner, you can find it sitting on top of this pipe. The second one is going to be in the upstairs of the yellow house. If you come over to this bookshelf, you'll find it sitting right here. And then the third and final recording will be found inside of the beds area of the map. It's going to be on this couch before entering to the lounge. Finally, we do have the Rushmore codes, and these ones I'm not really going to explain all that much. I'm just going to let you listen to them for the most part. But before I let you listen to them, you can only listen to one per round, and you have to type in a 4-digit code each time you want to listen to it, and the codes are the same in every game. But again, you can only do one per round. So instead of telling you all the codes right now, I'm just going to paste them on screen and let you listen to them, and you're going to see each code corresponding to each message.
The electrical output is unlike anything we've seen before, Director Purnell.
Come now, Dr. Hale. This is element 115 we're talking about here. We know what it's capable of.
That's what I thought too. But the elemental shard, it's different. The levels of concentrated energy it contains, well, simply put, our team has been unable to measure it. It's unlike any element 115 sample we've studied before. Whenever we drain energy from it, that energy is replaced, as if it's recharging itself. This ability, I think it's what Maxis was looking for all those years ago. I think it's the Genesis code.
That's unlikely, Doctor.
I know how it sounds, but look at the ADAMs. When we charged them with regular element 115, it gave them power. But when they were charged by the shard, they feel and act different. They feel alive.
Dr. Maxis spent years reanimating the dead. Hell, the Germans made that Group 935's primary purpose during the war. But according to his own research, that was the ceiling. Reanimation. He could restore the body, but not the mind or soul.
I know, but he didn't have the shard. If you'll let me run some tests, I believe...
I don't think lab rats are going to cut it here. I may have a candidate you can use. I'll let you know when he's been delivered. This is Broken Arrow Operations Director Purnell, accompanied by Dr. Hale. The date is June 1st, 1964. It's approximately 1 a.m. We're about to begin test number 22. Dr. Hale, you may proceed when ready.
Confirming conduits have been linked with the shard. Output set to 5,000 volts. Duration set for 10 seconds. Beginning now.
Damn. I'm sorry, Dr. Hale. I thought we had him.
Director.
I don't believe it.
Incredible.
Assessing vitals. First glance, everything looks good. I'll need some time to run a few tests, but I think we've done it.
Oh, take all the time you need, Dr. Hale. If we've done it, I mean if we've truly restored life to the deceased, we'd better be damn sure we're right. Let's keep him quarantined for now. Begin your tests when ready. We need to make sure he is, well, who he was.
What was his name, Director?
Peter. His name was Peter McCain. I'll send you his file. And, Doctor?
Yes, sir?
Not a word of this to anyone outside the company. Not the CIA, not the DOD. Broken Arrow eyes only.
Of course, sir.
Dr. Hale says you're making big improvements every day now.
Yes, sir. You might say I'm beginning to feel like the old me.
Absolutely remarkable. How far you've come these last few months can't be understated. How's the memory loss?
Still a struggle, sir. If I close my eyes, I can see it clearly for a moment. Doris, the asylum, the plane jump, but then it's gone.
And the nightmares?
The nightmare, sir?
Dr. Hale mentioned something about strange dreams, giant monsters, medieval France.
Not in weeks, sir. Those have subsided.
Outstanding news. So, what's next, Peter? What are your plans once your recovery's completed?
Sir?
Well, Dr. Hale mentioned your interest in staying on at Broken Arrow.
Broken Arrow brought me back from beyond the veil, sir. I can think of no greater honor than repaying the organization for what they've done.
Believe me, Peter, the honor would be all ours. These are strange times. I need good men like you in my circle. DOD's claws are deep into our organization. Too deep. I've not confirmed it, but I suspect they've planted spies in our ranks. Last month, out of the blue, they forced me to give up the elemental shard, as if they knew what we were up to.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir.
Oh, that's all right. DOD don't know it, but I managed to break the shard in two. Kept half so we can continue our work. We need to stay on our toes. I need people I can trust. You're welcome to join the organization, but it'll mean swearing loyalty to Broken Arrow before the United States. Company over country. I need to know that's something you can do.
I can do that, sir.
I'll admit I've had my concerns, Cornelius. But if what you say is true, MK Alpha could transform interrogation practices.
Not just transform, Sawyer. Revolutionize. Using the APD to harness the power of Element 115, we'll be able to interrogate subjects from within their own subconscious. We can access their thoughts, manipulate their emotions, rewrite their memories. We can procure any confession. Brigadier General, what I'm offering you is mind control on a level MK Ultra could never dream of accomplishing.
So what's the holdup? What am I missing?
Providing power to the APD is proving, well, difficult. The design's based on Group 935's analysis of the MPD, which means its source of power is...
If you're about to suggest what I think you are, the answer is no.
It was the only way Rick Coffin's men were able to charge the Moon Pyramid device.
I am not, and I repeat, not letting you kill soldiers to harvest their souls.
We prefer the term life force, actually.
Call it whatever the hell you want. We're not Group 935. We're not killing people to power your pyramid. Find another way, Purnell, or I'm shutting this down.
You had something for me, Dr. Hale?
Yes, Director. Weiss, bring me another one. This morning there was an incident with an ADAM. It short-circuited and broke down. We're not quite sure how or why, but I think what happened next will have your attention.
Here you are, Dr. Hale.
Hello. How may I be of service?
The ADAM died right next to one of the life force fuel canisters.
And?
And? Weiss?
Yes, ma'am.
Malfunction. Malfunction. Power failure.
Watch what happens.
Remarkable. Dr. Hale, I'm not sure how this is possible, but you may have just saved this project.
swear. I tell you what I know.
We've only scratched the surface. The night of November 6, 1963, you gained access to the Pentagon. How?
I do not know. I just appear. I do what she say. I just appear.
Who is she?
The girl. The little girl. She was in my head, in Yuri's head for so long. Zlaya Vedma.
Why did she send you? Who was she targeting?
I do not know.
You lie. Tell me who she was targeting.
People who tried to stop her. She sent me to stop them. I obey. Try to stop them. I take weapon. Get out of my head. I can feel you. Cody.
Not until we're finished. Did she tell you about her next attack?
Next attack?
What is her next attack? What's she planning?
She said many things. About past, present, future. Oh, she see all time the same. That is how she travels. She show me.
What did she show you? What did she show you, Yuri?
She showed me moon. And she showed me this place. Secret government facility.
Is she planning to attack here?
Not for a long time. 50, maybe 60 years. There will be big boom. Then she attack.
Don't play games with me.
I never play games. I tell you what she tell me. She tell me you will be there too, Purnell.
How do you know my name? Terminate the session. End it now. What else did she show you, Yuri? What else have you seen?
I seen different worlds, universes, past and future. These things are meaningless because all paths will be taken.
Different worlds?
You think this place is only place? This is one of many. And in each, 4 men are trapped.
What do you mean, 4 men?
4 men split in 2, beginning and end, first and last, Alpha and Omega, Primus and Ultimus.
What the hell's he talking about? Who are they, Yuri? Their names, Yuri. What are their names?
They are trapped. I see them. For years, they are trapped in the endless cycle. No matter how they try to break it, there is no escape. Cycle always begin anew. It is the ether. Once it was above all worlds, but then it corrupted one, and like virus, this corruption spread.
What more do you know about the ether?
I know what she tell me, and what they tell me.
Who's they? The 4 men?
Yet, 2 angels. They come to me in dream.
It must be code for something. Yuri, what are the 2 angels?
They come from place above existence. Agartha.
Yuri, this is very important. How do you get to Agartha?
Why do you hear the voices too?
Answer the question.
It is not for you. It is not for anything of us.
Answer the question.
Director, we should halt the interrogation. His levels are fluctuating rapidly.
We're done when I say we're done. Tell me how to get there, Yuri.
I do not know. And even if I did, I would not tell you. You have been marked by it. You are cursed. I hear it in your thoughts. I can feel it. It's corruption.
I can do this all day, Yuri. Tell me what I want to know.
Get out of my head! The confluence! Curse! The children!
How do we get there?
You do not possess power to withstand its embrace. Even if you find way to ascend, you will not comprehend what you saw. It would destroy you.
Dr. Hale, report.
One moment, Director. He's gone, sir.
Oh, there must be a way. There's got to be a way. The voices in my head, it's been years now. They won't leave me alone. The only way to temper them is liquid courage. At night it's worse. It's lonely here. It's just so quiet in the middle of the desert. I hear them seeping through the dry cracks of dead dirt. They want me to find the way through. The gateway. I found a schematic in Dr. Richtofen's journal. He'd made a plan, a backup plan, to build a device, a fast lane. We tried to build it, but we didn't have the necessary components. They just don't exist. The last several months, I've had this reoccurring dream. In it, I'm able to merge with the ether, the spirits. They say it's the only way. I need to investigate this further.
This is Dr. Hale conducting Purnell test number 1. The date is August 3rd, 1967. The director has secured himself inside the APD, and we are ready to begin the transfer. When I flip this switch, an electrical current will be pulled from the elemental shard and will flood the APD. Are you ready, Director?
Yes, Dr. Hale.
Cornelius, are you sure about this?
More than anything.
Commencing test. Director! Ending test. Director, what? Are you all right?
Better than all right, my dear. Run it again.
This is Peter McCain, Deputy Director at Camp Edward, February 4th, 1968. Personal log. Last week, Officer Weiss spoke with me about an incident he witnessed. On January 26th at 0300, Weiss witnessed an unauthorized access of the APD. Weiss claimed it was being used by Dr. Hale and Director Purnell. He believes these experiments have been running for some time now, which lines up with the numerous complaints I've received about Purnell's erratic behavior. 1 week later, on February 2nd, I witnessed firsthand what Weiss reported. I don't know what the purpose of this experiment is. It's certainly not authorized by either Broken Arrow or the Defense Department. Now, I can't say I'm surprised Dr. Hale is so willingly assisting the director. Her affection for him is well known around the base. I also can't say I'm surprised Purnell would take advantage of her affection. My old friend has changed in recent years. I suspect his exposure to Element 115 is the reason for his newfound confidence. I've decided to inform Brigadier General Sawyer. The Department of Defense will decide his fate. What? What happened? Where am I? Cornelius.
4 years ago, I asked you to swear an oath. An oath to the company. Company over country. At that time, you pledged loyalty. I guess we have different definitions of the word loyal.
This is one of our solitary cells. How did I get here?
Put some knockout juice in your tea. Passed out like a baby. Had my men throw you down here. You see, they're still loyal to me. Especially once I informed the staff that you've been experiencing delusions due to 115 exposure. You're a threat to yourself and all those around you.
No, that's not true. You know that's not true.
And to think, after all I've done for you. I carried the guilt of your death for years. I carried it for so long I was determined to find a way to bring you back. I find a way. Bring you back from the great beyond. And this is how you repay me.
Cornelius, you're not well. You need help. You're suffering from aggressive 115 exposure. You're not seeing clearly.
Oh, on the contrary. I see clearer now than I ever have. I walk through the land of the blind with one eye open. And what do? You go and file a report with the Department of Defense that Director Cornelius Purnell is unstable and a threat to national security. Can't have you interfering with my plans, Peter.
You can't stop it, Purnell. Sawyer will come. He'll bring his men. He'll see what you've become.
Well, of course he will. But it won't matter. By then, it'll be too late.
This is Dr. Hale conducting elemental shard test number 54. The date is March 15th, 1968. Initiating test now. What on earth is going on?
Where is Director Purnell?
He's inside the APD.
Dr. Hale, I need you to step away from the control panel. Private?
Yes, sir.
No, wait. You can't stop the test. We're right in the middle.
Doctor, Director Purnell has betrayed his country and is considered an enemy of the state. He's coming with us. Right now. Private, you may proceed.
Wait, no!
What the hell?
The whole facility just lost power.
What have you done to me?
Everybody, stand back!
What the hell is that thing?
Director Purnell? Cornelius?
Director Purnell is no more, and all of you are unwelcome.
Sir, we have a containment breach. Nova 6 gas is leaking throughout the facility.
Everybody move! Get the hell out of here!
The gas is the least of your concerns.
Open fire! Private, get on the horn. We need reinforcements. We need to get the hell out of here.
None of you are leaving. And my ascension may now begin.
Richtofen! Richtofen, are you there? Edvard, I do not know if you're receiving me, but best connection I could establish. I cannot triangulate your exact position. Edvard, what is taking you so long? According to my calculations, by now you should have completed your mission and delivered the souls to the house. He is getting anxious. Dr. Monty, he suspects that you are acting against his wishes, plotting against him. I have assured him this is not the case, but his level of worry has me curious. There might be something more to his plan. I shall investigate further, old friend. I will let you know what I find. Richtofen? Edvard, I must assume you are receiving me. We must discuss Monty's plan. If you are to follow through and deliver the souls, it will not resolve the paradox. Yes, the children will grow up and live in their perfect universe. But the blood vials, they will not break the cycle as you believe. They will perpetuate an endless loop.
All those affected by element 115 will continue to be trapped and tortured by the ether's power. It would never end. The world will always break. You will always try to fix it. You will always travel to the house with the souls. You will always drink the blood, and then the cycle will repeat. I suspect Monty knows this. Perhaps the true cost of fixing all of reality is too great, even for him. I will reach out when I have more information. Edward. Work! Oh, that is much better. Everything is so complicated now, Edward. Remember when the world was a simple place? No time travel, no multiverses, no paradoxes, no existential crises. It is the ether, Edward. Once it touches something, that thing is forever corrupted. It cannot be undone. Do you not see, Edward? Dr. Monty never planned on fixing anything. He could only start over. Well, he could fix it, but the cost of this would be too great, even to him. We were doomed the moment element 115 came to Earth. The only way to prevent all of this, the only way to halt the unraveling of space and time, which, need I remind you, we are both directly and indirectly responsible for, would be to purge element 115 from existence before it ever encountered humanity. How one would do this, how that would even be possible, I do not know. Dr. Monty must know this is the only true way to fix everything. Yet he chooses not to do this. There must be a reason. I will find out why. By this point, I must assume you are receiving these messages. I hope you are, especially after what I have just learned. I believe I have uncovered why Dr. Monty will not destroy element 115. The ether is inextricably linked with Agartha. They are one and the same. Agartha, the physical space, is constructed and exists of the ether. From this we can surmise there is no way to destroy the ether unless Agartha itself were to be destroyed. Now, the ramifications for destroying Agartha are not yet clear. After all, it's interwoven into the fabric of all realities, meaning its destruction would impact all of existence. It could very well reset all of time and space. Imagine restarting the universe, but without the influence of the ether. Yes, this is the reason. This is why Dr. Monty will not truly fix the paradox. Destroying Agartha, it would mean the end of him. The Toten! The Toten, damn you! I need to know if you're receiving this! This could be problematic. I may need to resort to drastic measures. Stand by, Rushmore. Wait on my signal. You will hear from me very soon.
All right, I'm gonna give it a kick. You ready?
You're clear.
Facility transport via pyramid device is now available.
All right, let's just grab a little juice.
Sample now transferred to Hanford site.
What? That's it?
Shoot, we're not sending the entity to Hanford, just grabbing a sample.
What does Hanford want with it?
They've been interested in the entity for some time now. Wanted to pursue further scientific endeavors with it. Whatever that means.
Well, I know I'll be up here once we get out of here.
Hey, I don't suppose you've seen an elemental shard lying around anywhere, have you?
An elemental what now?
A large piece of rock that looks like glass, gives you a headache when you look at it. No, haven't seen anything like that.
No, sir. Why do you ask?
Probably nothing. I always wondered if Poynell kept a piece for himself. Anywho, what's this I hear about you leaving us for the CDC?
You heard right. I'll be out at the end of the month for a new opening.
Well, we got a long drive back. Can't wait to hear all about it.
This is Case Officer Barkley. It's July 6th, 2025. Myself and Project Manager Rushmore have returned to Camp Edward and...
George, the hell you doing? Get your ass up here. We got ground to cover.
I'm sorry, sir. I just get a bit nervous.
What? The Nova 6 gas? Put that fear in your back pocket. Once the incident in 68 was contained, they powered down the site. As long as we don't flip the master switch, we should be fine.
It's not the gas, sir. It's the robots.
Oh, come on now, Barkley. Robots ain't gonna harm anybody. From what I've been told, as long as we're on site, they remain perfectly still. Don't move an inch. But moment we leave, bang! It's like a robototropolis over here.
And they won't interfere with us?
Long as we mind our business, we'll be fine. Stop staring at him, Barkley. Nobody likes to be stared at.
What about the entity?
The entity? Oh, well, that thing should be coiled up nice and cozy. What's the sensor reading, Barkley? He's still in there?
Sensors say the entity is still secure.
Of course it is. Ain't nothing breaking out of that tin can. Not sure how they managed to get it back in, but we're lucky they did.
They're not worried it might escape?
Worried? Shit, they were damn terrified of the thought. Didn't you see the nuke they rigged up out there?
What?
You better believe they installed a fail-safe measure. That thing would have ever escaped. Kaboom! Up in smoke.
But that could happen right now.
Come on, Barkley, don't be stupid. That thing ain't busting out unless someone's stupid enough to open the damn door.
Project MK Alpha is an offshoot of Project MK Ultra, the CIA program exploring the possibility of mind control as an espionage tool. While MK Ultra explored a spectrum of techniques, MK Alpha focused on the use of the highly classified American Pyramid device, located at Camp Edward, Nevada, for telepathic interrogation. Use of the APD yielded positive outcomes in a series of tests, but serious side effects experienced by both interrogators and test subjects were also reported. More on that under APD interrogation. The ADAM initiative began with research into automated servants for public use. The androids were made to appear as human as possible, to function in people's homes and businesses as easily as a human employee. Easier, perhaps, since they required no food, sleep, or salary. The results were very encouraging. Not only did they perform everyday domestic tasks, but they inspired genuine affection in their employers. It didn't take long for Broken Arrow's top brass to recognize the military potential in the ADAM initiative. More on that under Project Toy Soldier. Project Toy Soldier is an offshoot of the ADAM initiative. The focus of Toy Soldier is to repurpose ADAM units for military applications. Work on Toy Soldier began at Camp Edward 6 months after the facility was dedicated to the Broken Arrow program. Militarized ADAM units were deemed an effective countermeasure to an undead outbreak, and their capabilities were augmented accordingly. After several tests and iterations, a unit designated Sergeant ADAM performed well in demonstrations for the Joint Chiefs. Sergeant ADAM remains at Camp Edward, ready for activation if necessary. The Broken Arrow facility here at Camp Edward, Nevada, is categorized as a black site by the select few in the federal government who are aware of its existence. Broken Arrow was created by the Department of Defense in November of 1963, following the undead outbreak in the Pentagon. That incident was contained and kept classified, but every available resource was mobilized to prevent another such disaster. In addition to locations at Groom Lake and Hanford, Camp Edward was turned over to Broken Arrow for the research and creation of an American Pyramid device based on a similar mechanism discovered on the Moon. The efficacy and potential uses of the APD are still being determined. The prisoner holding area at Camp Edward was originally designed to detain spies and trespassers. However, its main usage was in conjunction with Project MK Alpha. Test subjects for APD interrogation were kept in prisoner holding and escorted to transfusion before delivery at the APD for their interrogation sessions. If they emerged relatively intact, they were taken back to a holding cell and processed out of the base. However, not all subjects survived the process. The transfusion facility at Camp Edward served as a vital step in the MK Alpha interrogation process. Test subjects were escorted from the cells in prisoner holding and placed in the transfusion chair. Precise dosages of element 115 were then injected into the subject's bloodstream, rendering them susceptible to the interrogator awaiting them in the APD interrogation area. Use of element 115 for this procedure was highly controversial among the few who knew of the program. Its effects were unpredictable, and more than one subject who entered transfusion never made it to interrogation. Additionally, Broken Arrow medical technicians working in transfusion reported a variety of side effects from working with 115 and had to be replaced regularly. One interesting outcome is that base personnel avoided the transfusion facility even more than they avoided the APD itself. The APD interrogation program is a focal point for the MK Alpha program. Numerous tests were conducted with subjects who were strapped into the interrogation chair and given controlled doses of element 115. These subjects were susceptible to telepathic probing from an interrogator located within the American Pyramid device. Initial results showed great potential, with crucial intel obtained directly from the minds of various test subjects. However, adverse reactions to element 115 were observed, and prolonged time spent within the APD had deleterious effects on interrogators themselves, including Broken Arrow director Cornelius Purnell. The solitary confinement area was where test subjects were taken following APD interrogation sessions. They were held there for several days before being returned to prisoner holding. In the early days of MK Alpha, subjects were taken directly from the APD back to holding. They tended to be unruly, traumatized by having another mind rummage through theirs, and this unnerved subjects in neighboring cells. It was determined that a cool-down period in solitude mitigated adverse reactions, and so the solitary cells were added.
The absolute final map that we have for the BO4 Zombies Ether storyline, Tog der Toten, also has like a fuck ton of radios, so let's just get into it. Tog has 5 audio reels, 6 film reels, it has 5 records, and then 5 regular radios. It also has 4 Samantha Wisps as well, but these ones are not character specific. But don't worry, we'll get into that in just a minute. Starting out with the audio reels, as per usual, the first one you can find will be at the Frozen Crevasse. If you jump up to this middle platform right here, you'll find it on the right side. The second one you can find is going to be found on the Lighthouse level 3. As soon as you leave the stairs, it's in front of you sitting on the floor. The third audio reel can then be found if you're leaving the Lighthouse Cove going towards the boat. You can find it in this pathway just outside the map right here next to the mystery box location. Making your way down to the beach or the OG spawn from Call of the Dead, if you go to where Quick Revive used to be, you can find the next audio reel there. And then the 5th and final audio reel is going to be found all the way up at the facility, and it's going to be behind this barrier right here. If you don't know how to get past the barrier, all you need to do is get dynamite, and for dynamite, you need to kill zombies on fire with snowballs. When you do, if you run through them, they'll drop a part for you, and then you need 3 parts to be able to go craft a dynamite, and you can place it there to blow open the doorway. The film reels work the same as they have before. It doesn't matter which order you pick them up in, the messages will always be the same no matter what. The first film reel that you can find is going to be found inside of specimen storage. It'll be sitting on this desk inside of the cell. The second one can be found inside of decontamination. If you look inside of this locker over here, it'll be on the floor. The third one you can find is going to be down at the beach. If you come over to where the rock in the middle is, it'll be found sitting on top of this box. Film reel number 4 can be found if you're coming from the Lighthouse Cove to the lagoon. If you look up at the ceiling inside of this water tunnel, you'll find it closer to the lagoon, just floating on top. The fifth one can be found if you make your way up to the lighthouse station where PhD Flopper used to be. If you look at this table in the right side corner, if you're coming from inside the lighthouse, you'll find it sitting on this table. The last film reel that you can find is going to be inside of Spawn at the docks. If you make your way over to this area where the water is, you'll find it sitting on this like concrete, what do they call that, base? The concrete base. It's right there. I know I haven't explained where to actually play the mat yet, so that's where this is right now. If you make your way up to geological processing, you can find the projector for them to be played up in the corner right here. We have the phonograph recordings next, and the first one can be found inside of the boathouse right outside of Spawn. If you make your way into this room and on the back side of this chair, you'll find it sitting there. The next one you can find if you're leaving the beach and you're going into the cave tunnel, you can find it just before actually entering on the right side, tucked away in the snow right here. The third one you can then find inside the lighthouse station. If you go underneath the stairs on the first floor, you'll find it leaning up against this cabinet. Record number 4 can be found inside of Human Infusion on the left side. You can find it sitting underneath this sink right here. And then the fifth and final one can be found inside of Geological Processing in the back right corner of the room. When you found one, if you bring it over to Specimen Storage, you can play them on this phonograph right here sitting on this desk. We still have a couple more sections to go through, but next is going to be the actual radios on the map. Who would have thought? The first radio you can find will be in the sunken path. It'll be if you leave from the forecastle of the ship underneath where the Apothecon blood is, you can find it next to this wallby right here. The second one you can find on the stern of the ship next to this perk machine. You'll find it on the corner of the building right here. For the third one, if you make your way into the hallway next to the cargo hold, you can find the radio inside of this like refrigerator looking thing right here. The fourth one you can find on the forecastle of the ship inside of this shipping container. It'll be tucked right here. And then the fifth and final one you can find will be inside navigation close to the stern of the ship. It'll be sitting right here on top of these computer terminals. There are 4 Samantha Wisps hidden around the map, and each one of these can be found by any player, and they will all be on the map at the same time. The first one you can find is going to be inside of Artifact Storage. If you come over to this zombie spawn right here, you can look through at an angle and find it up in the top left corner. The second one you can find is going to be if you leave from the beach or the OG spawn into that cave, you'll see the zombie spawn right here. Or it's not a cave, it's the lighthouse approach, but you'll see it in the bottom left corner right here. The third one you can find is going to be in the outer walkway up at the facility. If you kind of like angle yourself on the far right side of the facility, you can see it up in the like torn down area. I don't know how you like, it's destroyed and you can see into the building right there. And then the fourth and final wisp is going to be down in the lighthouse first floor. There's going to be 2 zombie spawns there. If you're coming from the lighthouse cove, it's going to be the zombie spawn on the left side. You can see it through that one. When you find one, just go ahead and shoot it, and then that's when the wisp will activate. Finally, to round out Togder Toten, we do have the campfire stories, and these ones you have to do the Easter egg in order to get access to, and you'll only get access to certain ones at certain times. They will always play in the same order, but you have to progress to certain steps. I'm going to lay this out for you as simply as I can right now. They play in groups. The first group is a group of 3, the second group is a group of 3, and then the third group is a group of 4, with there being 2 additional ones that I threw in but are not technically campfire stories. I just threw them in because they were recorded as like in the same way of the campfire stories. If that makes sense, I don't know. They just sound the same. They're kind of the same thing going on. The first group of 3 is going to play after step 4 is completed, which is the giant orb step. By the way, all of these are going to be completed after the giant orb step because you have to do this step multiple times. So this one, the first set of 3 is after step 4. The second set of 3 is going to be after step 7, which is also the giant orb step, like I just said. And then the third group of 4 is going to be after step 9. When you start step 4, 7, and 9, you have to place the seal of duality on top of this campfire in the sunken path. When you do that, then you're going to get your first message to play. But in between each of those steps, you can interact with, for the first group of 3 and then for the second group of 3, the campfire 2 more times to get your other 2 messages. And you can do this all in the same round. Then for step 9, that's when you get your group of 4 and you can interact with the campfire 3 more times. Then for the last 2 that I included, which I count as technical quote unquote campfire stories, is right after you finish the boss fight, there is another similar style message that starts to play. And then the second one is right after you finish the entire Easter egg and watch the cutscene. You walk off with the kids, and I feel like it has the same energy and should be classified as a campfire story. So I threw that in there as well. Also, if I made this whole explanation sound confusing as fuck, you're still gonna see on screen in the top left-hand corner exactly what step I was doing, when I was doing it, and what I did to get each message to play. So don't worry there, you're still gonna see it all.
This doctor, he tells me one more thing. He tells me he realizes that Dr. Monty is not inherently evil. Dr. Monty, he says, is trying to save the multiverse the safest way he knows how. By forcing us into this cycle, our story will never end. But also, his universe and his existence will be guaranteed. I can't blame him, he says. Dr. Monty is much like you and me. He just wants to survive. He doesn't want to risk his own annihilation. I tell him, well, if we are doomed to meet here again and again until the end of existence, perhaps there is something we can do to change that. He looks at me with a smile and says, I think you are right, old friend. Day 521. I still don't know how it is possible, but late last year, I awoke from a watery grave. When I swam to the surface, I found the German military base abandoned. Only the undead remained on their shores. I attempted to flee, but the fog, it seemed no sooner that the shore faded behind me, it reappeared in front of me. Every attempt I made to escape, he led me right back here. As if I was meant to be here. I have begun broadcasting a radio signal. I'm hoping that someone will answer and come to my rescue. But if no one comes, I'm not sure how much longer I will survive this place. In my dreams of this great war, I meet a German doctor. Oddly, he reminds me of the man who once tormented me. But his face is different. When I meet him, he is angry and frustrated. He mentions a man named Dr. Monty, saying he is to blame. This German doctor, he says he believed following Monty's plan would lead them to secure a better tomorrow. This was a lie, he says. This Dr. Monty, he sent the Four to the Great War. It was at this moment the German doctor said he realized the truth. Coming to the Great War did not break the cycle. It was merely the end of their loop. We will die here, he says. Then we will be reborn again. And when it is time, we will meet once more in northern France, continuing this never-ending loop. I wonder, he says, how many times have I been to the Great War? How many times have I perpetuated this endless cycle? I'm tired, he says. I have been trying so very hard to do the right thing. But for all his efforts, he had only fulfilled the prophecy of this cycle. He and Dr. Monty had forged the endless loop. Day 3682, I think. Last night, I had a dream. A dream I have not had in many years. Like the ones I used to have at the Eisendrache. I dreamed I was in medieval times, during a great war, a war to end all wars. In this dream, I am attacked by one of the great beasts. It holds me within its grasp, about to end my life, when I am saved, spared by a man in cloth, not a priest, someone more powerful. He wields a staff of fire. I see 4 heroes stand atop of a mound. The 4 raise their staffs in unison, and suddenly the knights know the war is not lost. I rejoin the fight, and fight alongside my king. For years I had dreamed of this war. I wonder, perhaps the Germans' experiments warped my brain, my sense of space and time. He thought I died, but it was only that my mind had transformed. I have been here 10 years. No one has responded to my radio message. Is there no one out there? Am I even on Earth? Or am I caught somewhere in between? Every time I try to escape, my raft always brings me back. This place is my prison. But is it a prison? Perhaps it is more like a waiting room, a purgatory of sorts. Perhaps my dreams are much more. Perhaps they are visions of what is to come. And perhaps it is here I must wait for what is to come. They will come for me. Day 4721. I think I understand. I know why I am here, why I am trapped on this rock, why I have these dreams, these visions, why I must get to this great war, and what purpose I am to serve in this cataclysmic event of the ages. I am not being sent just to witness what happened, but it is I who helps the Doctor break his cycle. Near the end of the Great War, when all hope is nearly lost, I protect him while he activates a device, a teleportation mechanism. I hold back the undead as he powers it up. I give him the moment he needs to escape his fate. I ask him, where will you go? He says, there is a prison I must travel to. Hopefully, I can intercept our friends before it is too late. Before he goes, I give him the elemental gem from the Staff of Fire. I had seen it used to vanquish great evil. He once used it to save my life. Perhaps it will serve him well on his new path. This is why I am here. It is no coincidence that I have also been left with the plans for the Agarthan device. That is how I get to the Great War. I'll need some help. But in my visions, I have seen that I will have help soon. For now, I must bide my time. For my time is coming.
Log entry 937, date May 15th, 1942. Dear Diary, our men have safely returned from Africa, where they recovered a number of artifacts buried underground in some sort of subterranean cowboy village. Apparently it was American. That's right, an American cowboy western town, buried underground in Africa. Stupid American Schwein. With their apple pie and their baseballs. Thinking they can just waltz into another country and claim it as theirs. There is no art to their work. But I digress. The boys have returned with a number of fascinating articles and documents. They have pieces from a destroyed machine called the Pack-a-Punch. With a name as clever as that, it must be American. I have given the schematics to Dr. Porter. Perhaps he will have better luck replicating Jebediah Brown's work. Speaking of that blacksmith, we also recovered plans for the Agarthan device. It seems that the blacksmith already built one of the pieces, the fabled Vril vessel. The Agarthan device, a device capable of granting that which one desires. Almost like a genie in a bottle. I think I shall keep this genie in my back pocket. If my plan fails, and it won't, perhaps this device can get me to Agartha. Log entry 1438. Date July 18th, 1945. Dear Diary, I have been at Group 935's Siberian facility now for merely days, but mein cup already runneth over with exciting news. First, yesterday, I learned that I would receive not one, not two, but 3 test subjects. Hopefully with proper 115 injections, we will be able to use these specimens to access the human mind. The Chancellor's undead army is on standby until we crack this crucial step. And secondly...
Here he is, Richtofen.
Get your damn hands off me. Now what do we have here? A spy? If you know what's good for you, you'd let me go. Oh yes, yeah, I'm sure you work with someone incredibly important. Honestly, you have no idea. How did you find my secret facility? Who are you? I'm a reporter. I was hired by a man, Mr. Rapt. I never met him. He asked me to find some goods for him. Things he wanted badly. Sounds thrilling. And what were these goods he wanted so badly? Look, I don't know the specifics. He just told me to travel to Russia. He gave me these coordinates, which led me here. How was I supposed to know it was a freaking German base? He gave some vague description of a strange metal object. This, I assume? Yeah, that'll be it. Called it the Seal of Duality. Whatever the hell that means. Well, the Vril vessel is not for sale. And is certainly not for stealing. But it is curious. I have only just arrived at this facility, bringing the Vril vessel with me. Yet you somehow knew it would be here. How is this possible? How the hell am I supposed to know? I just go where the Shadow Man says to go. I don't know how he does it. Listen, if Mr. Rapt wants to find you, he's got his ways. Look, you want to go ahead and get this over with? If you're going to kill me, kill me. Not like it'll matter. It's kind of funny, you know? Something Mr. Rapt said. About if I failed him and died, it'd be okay. He said he'd reach out to me all over the multiverse, whatever that means. I didn't pay it no mind then, but maybe some other me is out there having a lot better luck than I am.
Sir, what should we do?
Take the strange, sad riddle man away. Find a hole. Log entry 1469, date August 28th, 1945. Dear Diary, progress continues on unlocking the human mind. If Germany hopes to continue their war, they need an undead army willing to obey orders. There's also been further interest in the Super Soldat program. The German Chancellor considers this of high interest. We have begun the cloning process. We will have to see what results we yield. Test subject N3WB has been vomiting for 2 days straight. Our poor janitor. He has nightmares. Needless to say, we will no longer be serving fish. The Russian subject continues to be unresponsive. Dr. Yina suggested a serum made of vodka, but considering my concerns about his loyalty, I wonder if this is perhaps another attempt at sabotage. The specimen from Mexico continues to rant incoherently about giant monsters and some uber-fun war. Perhaps we were a little too eager with his 115 injections. I did not think he would go this crazy so quickly. If I'm being honest, I'm beginning to find this work a little drab and boring. Undead army, super soldat programs. Group 935's deal with Germany has truly limited the organization's potential. The appearance of the spy last month has inspired me to review the blacksmith's schematics. The Garthen device and its 3 components, the vril vessel, the apothecon blood, and the elemental shard. The instructions to creating the elemental shard have my interest piqued. 4 human souls merged with element 115. Not that I'm trying to brag, but this may be something in my wheelhouse. Scalpel, please, Dr. Yee.
Scalpel, Dr. Richtofen. What exactly are you looking for, Dr. Richtofen?
We are attempting to locate an appropriate stimuli that will trigger the brain's involuntary willingness to obey command. There we are. Forceps, Dr. Yina, if you please.
Forceps, Dr. Richtofen. But the liver and kidneys, or the spleen?
Our goal is to unlock the barrier to the human mind. With element 115, it is important that we explore every possibility. The barrier may be where we least expect it. There we are. Retractors, please.
Retractors? It seems the Chancellor has been pushing us harder these last days. Is this because of the spy that was discovered at the asylum?
I do not know, Dr. Yina. Our German leader, along with Dr. Max's, is so limited in his thinking. His goals are simple-minded, childish. He keeps pushing for his undead army when he could have the elemental shard.
The elemental shard?
A device capable of endless energy. We could use it to craft anything, including an Agarthan device of immense power. Hold this open while I grab the injector.
Agarthan device? Why haven't I heard about this?
Dr. Yina, do you have a firm grip? You are shaking.
I'm ready. Please, proceed.
Injecting serum in 3, 2, 1. Hold it open. The injection is nearly complete.
I can't hold this grip.
Well, I guess the barrier isn't in his spleen. Nincompoop! You did this. I knew it. You let go on purpose.
Richtofen, it was an accident. My hand slipped.
Don't cough. Oh, well. The Russian subject recently began responding to stimuli, but only after injecting him with a new serum made primarily from vodka. Perhaps this is a breakthrough in the experiment we have been waiting for. Perhaps I was too harsh on Dr. Yina. It was he, after all, who suggested the vodka serum. Credit where credit is due. Today also marks a great success for one of my side projects. Using a processed rock of element 115 and the vril vessel, I was able to successfully siphon a piece of the souls from our 3 specimens and inject them into the rock. Without access to a fourth individual, I used part of my own essence. Much to my surprise, the rock grew and transformed, creating a beautiful shard of glass made purely from element 115 and parts from 4 human souls. The vril vessel, the elemental shard. All we need now is the apothecon blood, and the Agarthan device shall be complete. End log entry 1474. Or should I say 1474? Doesn't matter. cannot do this. You have no authority.
You've left me no choice, Dr. Richtofen. You used 935 resources to work on personal projects. You've been threatening the employees, myself included, and you're clearly suffering from excessive 115-induced delusions.
Suffering from excessive 115-induced delusions? How dare you accuse me of such vile lies!
Dr. Maxis has ordered the elemental shard to be sent to Division 9, where they are better equipped to study it appropriately. You are to cease experimentation on the test subjects and put them on ice. You are to return with them to Der Reese and meet with Dr. Maxis. He would like to discuss your dedication to the cause.
Mine? Dedication? All of my projects, my programs. You think I'm not dedicated? You have taken everything from me. Oh, well, I still have the DG2 in active development. I suppose that's something.
Actually, no. I'm afraid Dr. Maxis has canceled its mass production as well.
Scheiße! This is all you're doing. You are intentionally sowing discontent. You are trying to destroy us from within. You're working for the Americans, aren't you? You're a spy. Just like Dr. Peter McCain. Dr. Maxis would never have hired Americans, no matter how much genius they have.
No, Dr. Richtofen, that's your paranoia talking. You've been exposed to element 115 for too long. I'm just a loyal servant to Group 935 trying to protect its interests. Now, if you have any issues, I suggest bringing them up with Dr. Maxis.
Oh, don't you worry, little lying apple pie brain, hyena. I intend to bring up a great many things with Dr. Maxis.
The day's the 14th of April, the year of our Lord 1885. A day I will hold dear until my last. I have done and spent 30 years of my life in Purgatory Point. My ma brought me out here when I was but 10 years young. She hoped to give us a chance at a new life. They're good folk here in Purgatory Point. Sure, sometimes they get a little rowdy, and maybe we strayed too far from heaven's gaze, but what do you expect from a frontier mining town? Something happened to one of the miners. Clive Farnsworth, a good man, came by the shop a few times. Anyway, he went down into that mine. Stayed down there for 10 days. When he came back up, he was changed. They say he was like a feral animal, rabid and carnivorous. His mind was gone, his flesh all sallow and bloody, his eyes ablaze in a red light. First home he stumbled upon was me and Ma's. I was at the shop at the time. Ma went out to meet him, and Clive, Doc said it happened quick. Clive jumped on her, ripped her throat. Old Bill ran over, put two through Clive's skull, shot him dead, like a dog. But Ma, she's been laid to rest now. She'll rise up to heaven. And bless her soul, she'll be greeted with open arms. That mine. They've been digging for that blue rock. Some folks say you stare too long, you'll find the devil in it. I need answers. I need to understand what happened. I'll head down to that mine tomorrow. The day's the 19th of April, the year of our Lord 1885. Somehow. I don't know how it's possible. Last I recall, I was headed into the mine. I swear, I was only down there for a few hours. When I come back up, townsfolk say I've been missing for 5 days. Then there was last night. When I slept, I had a vision.
2 angels came down to me from heaven. They told me I needed to be ready to prepare for what was coming. And what was coming, they would not tell me, but how to prepare. Build a machine, they said. A machine that will grant you great power. Now, this machine was complex, requiring craftsmanship and mechanical skill I did not have. I told them such, but they said not to worry. They would guide my hands. The way they described it, it sounded like an oven or a kiln. You stick your rifle inside, and when it come back out, well, let's just say that rifle would pack a serious punch. The day's the 30th of June, the year of our Lord 1885. My invention is the talk of the town. People been coming from far and wide, eager for a chance to upgrade their firearm. Revolver, rifle, the machine don't care. It'll pack 'em all. I pray every night, thanking the heavens for sending them 2 angels. I couldn't have done this without their guiding hand. They returned to me last night. They told me there was another machine they wished me to build. They called it the Agarthan device. Said it had the power to grant that which one truly desires. I told them I was their servant. Show me the path and I will walk. They said I needed 3 things. The blood of an elder god, an elemental shard, and a metallic vessel to harness and carry both. To find the blood, they instructed me to travel to the bottom of the ocean. I told them this I could not do, for I would perish. To craft an elemental shard, they instructed me to forge 4 souls with a blue rock from our mine. I told them this I could not do, for I do not have the means to siphon a human soul to an element. But a metal vessel? Well, I am a blacksmith. That I think I could manage. The day's the 21st of July, the year of our Lord 1885. I have a confession. I am burdened with sin. I fear I am the architect of my own damnation. This town is cursed. The devil himself has possessed our people. Folk have been acting all kinds of crazy, paranoia, visions, seeing things that ain't there. And the violence. 7 dead in the last 5 days. Sheriff don't know what's gotten into these people. But I know it. It's that damned mine. Them blue rocks. Doc believes them to be meteors from the sky, from up in the stars. Maybe from heaven. But whatever the cause, I fear the disease that consumes this town has gotten to me as well. Last night, I felt overcome with loss and grief. I went to see Ma at the cemetery. Maybe it was a whiskey. Maybe it was delirium. I can't say, but I dug her up and took her into town. I took her to my shop where I kept the machine. I don't know what came over me. Like something took control of my body, like a puppet on strings. I put her in the machine. I don't know why. Maybe it would bring her back to me. But she vanished. Nothing came back out. I stumbled home in a daze, but as I arrive, I see before my eyes, I see an apparition, a spirit. It looks just like her, only when she was younger. She floats around the house now. I catch her playing the piano. The angels. They came back to me again. I've built the metal carriage just as they asked. Only one thing left to do now. Upgrade it with my machine. The day's the 22nd of July, the year of our Lord, 1885. We are truly lost. This town, these people, we are being punished by heaven for our transgressions, and now must suffer the righteous hand of retribution. I did as they asked. I put the metal vessel in the pack-a-punch machine just as instructed. Next thing I know, all the energy, all the power of the world gets sucked out of the air as if pulled inside the machine. Next thing, the world went wide. I came to, and I see that my shop, all the people, the whole damn town has been transported, as if willed by the Lord, into this cavern buried below the surface of the earth. I fear we are at the threshold of hell, the world just waiting to open below our feet. We've been overrun by the devil's army. The dead have risen and now do us in battle. My name is Jebediah Brown, and I bow humbly before the two angels and ask for forgiveness. Show us the path to salvation. We are listening. Hello?
Comrades, that is enough! Now, as it stands, we must account for the facts. 2 days ago, one of our research facilities was attacked. All personnel are dead, with the exception of Dr. Gersh and Dr. Zavoyski, who are both still missing.
What about foreign intruders?
We do not know. They have not been recovered. Now, I know what Dr. Gersh and his work meant to this organization. However, all is not lost. We must remember that.
All is not lost. We have no leader. Who is going to lead us now? You? An American?
Yes. I'd remind you to think before you speak, comrade. I am one of the founding members of this organization, and you are someone who has forgotten their place in it. I am not saying I should lead it. Frankly, I would rather not. I would leave it to the committee to find a suitable replacement. However, with Americans, Broken Arrow grows stronger by the day. And we must act quickly if we are to stay ahead of them.
What is it you are proposing?
Some of you may remember 4 years ago, a contact at an abandoned Group 935 facility reached out to us. He promised to construct the Agarthan device for us, provided we brought him the blood of the beast. We never brought him the blood. Instead, we used it to fulfill our own needs. I propose I take a small crew and deliver the blood, as promised, to our ally in Siberia. With the Agarthan device in Soviet hands, we will not only end this Cold War overnight, we will bring humanity together and create a better world.
How are the experiments coming, Dr. Ina?
Fascinating, Anton. Truly fascinating. The blood, it's not so much fluid as it is very much alive. It moves, it changes shape at will, reacts to our touch. Alive?
How is this possible?
I'm not sure. One theory is perhaps the creature itself was more of a vessel, and that its blood is made up of 1 million different organisms that control it, like a crew piloting a ship. The creature died, but the organisms inside survived, trapped at the bottom of the ocean.
Is it sentient? How is it able to move?
The blood uses negative space, which exists between the molecules. This negative space provides an influx of energy, which we believe fuels the blood, giving it the ability to move.
Do you still believe this blood is suitable for our primates? For rocket testing?
Absolutely. The blood gives them rejuvenation abilities, making them more powerful, stronger. If a monkey is on the brink of death and given an injection, it makes a full recovery in a matter of minutes. The only trade-off is they become more angry, hostile, even violent in some cases.
Is this a problem?
It's manageable. But I'm confident monkeys given an injection of this blood will survive spaceflight.
Wonderful news. I think we can move on to the next phase of the program. We should prepare a serum for mass production. Can you tell me more about this negative space?
We really don't know much about it, except that it does not exist in this dimension. Maybe a gateway from another. One of our men has theorized it might even be a black hole of sorts.
Send what research you've done to myself and our weapons team. Be sure Yuri Zavoyski is included in the brief.
Of course, but I will remind you we need to be careful. We've noticed the blood has been changing composition, as if reacting to all our probing and prodding.
Reacting? How so?
I'm not sure how to explain it, but it feels like the blood's getting angry.
We have verified authenticity of this transmission, yes?
Yes, Anton. A recon unit traveled to the old facility. Apparently, a survivor has been living there since the end of the war.
Since the end of the war? 13 years? How can this be true? And how did we not know about this?
Unfortunately, your guess is as good as mine.
And his proposal, this Garthen device, what do you make of this?
Personally, it sounds too good to be true. But this isn't the first I've heard of it. Dr. Richtofen had mentioned it as well.
Just think, Harvey. A device capable of granting that which any man desires. I simply think it and bang. It is reality. We could beat Americans to Group 935 lunar facility. We could become leaders of free world overnight.
The potential, it is certainly infinite.
So, he says he will construct a device, but first he needs us to find something.
He says we must bring him the blood of an ancient creature. He gave us the coordinates. It's at the bottom of the ocean. Recovery will not be cheap.
Well, we do not need the creature, only its blood.
Harvey, do not worry. The reward will pay cost tenfold. This is how the Ascension Group leads charge into New World.
I understand. And there was one more thing. He warned us to bring him the blood straight away. When exposed to the elements for extended amounts of time, it becomes volatile and unstable. He warned us the blood is alive.
Let us worry about collecting it first. We will decide the next move after this, Dr. Yina.
Of course, Dr. Gersh. This is Dr. Harvey Yina. It's the 1st of January, 1964. Happy New Year. We are 15 minutes out from the abandoned Group 935 Siberian facility, where I will deliver the blood, as promised, for the creation of the Agarthan device. After I have secured it, I've arranged for rendezvous with my handler, who will take me back to American soil. It's been nearly 20 years. I can hardly remember my former life. After Group 935 disbanded, I had a choice. Come home, or turn to the Soviets and bury myself in the heart of their organization. I chose the latter. When again would America get such an opportunity? There was a moment back in 45, right after McCain was discovered, where I thought Dr. Richtofen had discovered the truth that I was a spy. He was right, of course. But it turned out Dr. Richtofen had his own problems with Group 935. It's time to go back home. Darn it, if I'm not excited to eat a hot apple pie and catch a game of baseball. What the?
Sir, he's broken containment!
What on earth is going on?
The blood. It broke containment. It started attacking the guard.
Follow me. We need to move. Now!
Sir, no!
I trust your trip was a success.
Like you wouldn't believe, Anton, what we found down there. The creature was magnificent, gargantuan in size. It was otherworldly, a remnant of a different age. Oh, I wish you could have seen it.
It was at the coordinates provided.
Yes, 43 north, 180 east. The blood has a fluidity to it that I find fascinating. We would have investigated further, but we intercepted a transmission that the Americans were in the area. Somehow they'd been informed about the creature's location.
Ah, these damn leaks. They will be our undoing.
It seems every step we take, the Americans follow suit.
Mark my words. There is a mole in Ascension, Harvey. We must strike it out before it destroys us. Get a team together. People we trust. If we are to study the blood, we must make sure the Americans do not find out.
To study it? Anton, I think we should follow the plan and deliver the blood to the Siberian facility.
Yet, Harvey. We cannot. This struggle with the Americans, we cannot let them get the advantage. This blood is our only leverage. After the war and Group 935 disbanded, you came to us. You came to me. You saw a better vision for the future here than what your America was offering. We created Ascension on the principle of being better men, of making this world a better place. If this blood is key to unlocking the future, we would be fools to not take this opportunity.
Perhaps you are right. At the very least, we can study it. What's the harm in that?
The four are connected to the ether. Their souls are linked to it, interwoven and intertwined. If the universe were held together with tape and bits of string, they are that string. Pull the string, it all unravels. It falls apart. Richtofen did it. Then he forged the elemental shard. He bound their souls to the ether. All versions connected, linked eternally to the infinite. Now they are one. They give each other life. The fate of one is tied to the other. These four, they exist across all of time and space. Different dimensions, different Earths, different wars. They are always there. No four are truly the original. They are all just different. They all exist in their own way. But as the ether grows and continues to corrupt, so too will their torment. The ether, it knows it must keep them alive. It knows it must bind them to their existence. This corruption that has been spread alone, and trapped, and corrupted by the ether. I thought only of him. Then Toten took him from me. I thought I would never get him back. I did not know yet. My papa lived. He seized control of the ether. He pulled me from the moon to Agartha. But I saw the great evil in his eyes. The ether had corrupted him. I watched as the madness consumed him. And he destroyed the world. I did not know what to do. With nowhere to turn, I was forced to reach out to my sworn enemies. They were different versions, living in another time and place, another dimension. The 4 men who once tried to kill me became the 4 men who saved me. And my father.
I've known some of you for a long time. The others, well, kind of feels that way too. It's not always been plain sailing, but it looks like we finally pulled it off. So, to answer Nikolai's question about what I really want, I just want my happy ending.
Yeah, me too, brother.
Okay, calm down. By happy ending, I mean finally being able to hang up my guns and maybe do something that won't end up getting me maimed or killed. Look, I know what you're thinking. What the hell else can Dempsey do besides be knee-deep in combat? Well, I've thought about that. We may have won our war, but that doesn't mean there won't still be a need for soldiers. Reckon I might serve my country best by helping train up the next generation of recruits. You know, pass on my expert knowledge.
Excellent idea. Making the next generation even dumber is the American way.
Zip it, Doc! Before I do it for you, with my boots! Anyway, while we're on the subject of boots, let me just raise a glass to one of the finest men to ever set foot in a pair. Peter McCain, Semper Fi, brother. Semper Fi.
Sympathy!
Hip hip hooray! Sorry.
Now, Dempsey, when I count to 3, I want you to throw the grip into the air.
What? At you? Into the fire?
The choice is yours. 1.
Really?
Really. 2.
Whoa!
Do you know why I picked you, Dempsey? I knew you would go on 2.
Hey, where'd you get fucking great?
You want to know about pain? I know about pain levels that none of you bozos can even imagine.
I got shot in the face. Does that count?
I'm talking about the kind of pain you have to live with.
Oh, sounds intriguing. Do tell.
So, back in boot camp, the squad house had these cheap, broke-ass bunks. MCRD probably bought them secondhand from Alcatraz or some other hellhole. Anyways, the mattress was about as thick as your freaking finger, and it sat right on top of an old-ass metal frame of half-rusted bed springs.
My, what horrors you have suffered! I have experienced more pain stubbing my toe.
Hold your horses, Tack. I ain't got to the pain bit yet. So, I wake up early one morning, swing my legs onto the ice-cold floor, and try to remember what the biggest problem of the day is gonna be. I don't know it yet, but my biggest problem is the fact that the crappy mattress is no longer covering the springs near the side of the bed. The EI stomps in and yells, "Lights, lights, lights!" And we all snap to our feet. Now, I don't know how much y'all know about physics, but when your body weight's on a bed, those springs are all stretched out. When that weight is removed, they snap shut like a bear trap. It took me a minute to process what had happened. But that, my friends, is why you always wear shorts. Even more important when you get older.
Oh, amen.
So, we got these Boy Scouts to run around frantically trying to construct some Agarthan device. I get it, but what is it? What does it do?
The Agarthan device can do many things. It has the power to open and close new worlds.
New worlds? Ain't we opened enough new worlds? Isn't that why we're in this mess in the first place?
As I said, it has the power to do many things. For us, I intend to use it to bring us the peace that has eluded us for so long.
Cheers to that, but we'll see.
Udim Zdrovia.
I need a refill.
I feel very much more drunk than usual. What is in this stuff? Potatoes? No, it's not joke. Potato vodka is very good. So, Nikolai was out drinking with friends. I knew it was late and wife would be mad. But we were having good time. After a few more drinks, I vomited on uniform. Oh, I knew I was in big trouble. My friend says, "No, Nikolai," and tucks 5 rubles in my pocket. Just tell wife the drunken stranger made mess and even gave money to pay for cleaning. His brilliant idea, huh? Yeah. So I stay out. More drinks, more fun, eh? Then finally I get home. Wife is very, very mad. I tell her about drunk man who made sick and how he gave me 5 rubles to pay for cleaning. Wife says, "But there is 10 rubles here." Ah, yes, I say. He also crapped in my pants.
I do not get it. Maybe you would like to hear Takio's stand-up routine?
No.
Well, I'm not a very complicated man. My needs are simple. I just want power, preferably absolute.
You destroyed Earth. Is that not enough?
Thank you, Azami. Thank you, Other Nikolai. This is all very entertaining. But I cannot help but feel a little morose.
Ain't that you all over, Richthofen?
Yeah, I suppose you're right. We may be victorious, but wouldn't you like to hear a little story? A story you've never heard? A sad story?
Oh, man. Why do you always have to be such a Debbie Downer?
Let him speak.
It's the story of Dimension 2210. The story of my soul. By the way, you're nodding, Nikolai. I can only assume the chronorium already showed you the whole sorry tale. Well, for the benefit of the peanut gallery, I was just a boy then. An innocent. I was a sensitive child. A lonely child. Orphaned at a young age. I never got to know who I really was. But one day, I learned who I would grow up to be.
What do you speak of, Richthofen?
I had to do it. The chronorium told me. I had to trick the poor little innocent me into trusting a complete stranger.
Jeez, Richthofen. I don't think I like where this is going.
Me neither, Dempsey. But that's the sad truth of it all. I took my own soul. Before it could ever have the chance to flourish. Is it any wonder I'm the way I am?
How about another drink? I am empty.
So, Richthofen, What exactly is the deal with Sam? Weren't you mortal enemies?
Oh yeah, very mortal. Very mortal indeed. But a lot has changed. Maybe since we both got a little taste of the MPD, it's helped us see a little more eye to eye.
I know she's got every right to be mad, what with her dad being killed and all. But how can we be sure she won't turn on us?
You know, there was a time and a place where Maxis was very much a father to me too. What? You're serious? I only ever knew him as a bitter rival.
The Chronorium shows only Samantha's path to redemption. When war is over, she will be normal child again. Innocent. Same as boy.
No, that's nice to know. It's been a long time since I've been innocent. Do not remind me. But I'll tell you one thing. A long time ago, Samantha told me something very important. She promised she would keep us safe forever, and that she would make everything okay. She said her dad had a plan.
Nikolai, if what you have told us is true, that we stand on the brink of victory, then I would like to make a toast to peace. We have traveled further than I ever dreamed possible. We have faced challenges that no mortal should ever have to face. Though our alliance was brought to the brink of collapse many times, we have prevailed, even in the face of unimaginable evil. We fought with courage and honor, but now perhaps the fighting is truly at an end.
Fighting's in my blood, Tack. I'm a Marine, and that ain't something you just turn off.
Do not be so sure, Tank Dempsey. A warrior's path should always lead toward peace.
Well, I'm with you on that, Tack. To peace.
To peace.
Well, I can honestly say I never imagined being in this position. I mean, look at us! All body. I'm not going to apologize for all the terrible things I have done, because frankly, I'm not sorry for anything. Yeah, I've had the time of my life! No, I know you'll probably never really trust me, and even now, you'll be expecting me to pull some last-minute rabbit out of a hat. A big rabbit of betrayal.
Yeah, no kidding.
Thank you, Dennis. I knew I could rely on you. So, do you have a rabbit of betrayal? If I'm honest, I've been expecting one since we all got together. Sadly, no. I am all out of rabbits.
Okay, everybody, this is Old Song. I want you all to join in.
I've got to be honest, Nikolai. I'm not sure if I want to join in.
I'll sing for my supper, I'll drink to another, I'll tell all ye folks a tall tale.
A tall tale?
Well, it's all based on fact, though I should say the act of telling gets taller each day.
Literally.
Now you all know tune. It's time for someone else to sing. Ladies and gentlemen, Tank Dempsey.
My Aunt Jemima thought nothing was finer than lazing around every day. But my Aunt Jemima lost it all in a fire, including herself, by the way.
I thought that whole Jemima line was going somewhere else entirely.
Yeah, Tack, give us something about the Emperor. Or honor.
Honor is one thing, but I'm feeling nothing but lack of opportunity. Our leaders are watching, but I'm not so eager to let them still watch over me.
Nicely done, Tequila. What about you, Rickcoffin?
Yeah.
Do you have any soul?
No.
I did, a long time ago. but it hurts just to think about it.
I started this song, but please don't get me wrong. No one sings unless they want to sing. We're all telling tales and we're all singing songs, drinking our drinks from midnight till dawn.
I was trying to say something there.
Sorry, Richtofen, we're not messing with you. We want to hear your dulcet tones. Ain't that right?
Yes!
Really? Really? This isn't the song that I wanted to sing. But nobody gets what they want. I was the nicest one, but you won't even remember me.
And if you start to doubt, you should know that without hindsight, we'd all be blind every day. You swallowed the tail of the whale. You were bit by the bite of the shark.
Ouch!
You have spoken many times of a war, Nikolai. A great war.
Yeah, a war unlike any we have ever seen.
Oh, are you going to tell them everything, Nikolai? The Apothicons, the Keepers, the Shadow Man, the Dark Ether, Monty?
Shadow Man? The Apotha what's? What's he talking about, Nikolai?
They are legends contained in the book, the Chronorium. Tales of demons and angels commanded by the forces of light and darkness.
That does not sound unlike any war we have ever faced.
Demons and angels, light and darkness, the big stuff. Who was who? Which was which? Do you know that, Nikolai?
Monty and Shadow Man were more similar than you know, Richtofen. Both were corrupted by the Dark Ether. One by his own ambition, the other desperately trying to save his friend. Do you remember when I asked you what you really want?
We remember. But why do you ask this now?
Because the Great War? No. The greatest war is the one we fight against ourselves. I would like to return to my home, my beloved, before the bombs fell, if only to die by her side.
I see myself at peace, serene, sitting beneath a cherry blossom tree, listening to the joy of my children at play.
I think I'd like to teach medicine, maybe pathology.
You know, the more I think about it, the more I think I'd be a darn good DI. Get those kids toughened up.
I would like to be in favorite bar, but as long as I have vodka, I am a happy man.
I would like to know for sure that I brought honor to my ancestors and the Emperor.
I should probably try to relax. Take up a hobby. Maybe I could open my own morgue.
Let me think about it. Wherever I go, you know I'll be kicking ass.
Oh my god, we made it to the Chaos storyline, finally, after that long. There's 4 maps, and each of these 4 maps does have a significant amount of radios, and we're going to start out with Dead of the Night here, even though it was the 3rd map to release. We're only doing it this way because canonically, it's the first map to take place. This map's radios are in the form of phonograph cylinders, and there are 6 phonograph cylinders with 1 phonograph being on the map. The phonograph is located inside of the music room sitting on top of this piano, and then for the 6 phonograph cylinders, each one of these, when you pick it up, it correlates to that specific message. So if you pick one up in one location and then you go to use it on the phonograph, it's always going to be the same message. It's not like how it was with the Ether storyline where it doesn't matter which order you pick them up, the messages always play in the same order. So what I'm going to do is show you the locations, and then when I go to have you listen to the radios, I'm going to play the radios in the order of the locations that I showed you, just so that way it's not confusing. Each time you use a phonograph cylinder, when you want to go pick up another one and use it on the phonograph, you have to then shoot the first cylinder that you placed in order for it to disappear, so that way you can place the second one. If you don't shoot the phonograph cylinders in between each time you want to listen to a different message, when you go back and interact with the gramophone or the phonograph, it's just going to replay the same message. The first cylinder that you can find will be found inside of the billiards room sitting on this chair right here. The second one can then be found inside of the entrance hall on this left side table. You can find the third cylinder inside of the greenhouse laboratory. It'll be sitting in the back left side on top of this table. The fourth one you can find on the forest terrace on the right side sitting on this railing. It'll be right there. Phonograph cylinder number 5 will be found outside of the mausoleum sitting on this railing, and then the 6th and final phonograph cylinder is going to be found inside of the dining room on the corner of the table right here.
Last month I ventured into the old druid temple buried beneath my grove of oak trees. To my surprise, I found 3 fallen warriors bedecked in plate mail. I restored the armor and have them displayed in several locations on the estate. They are in remarkably good condition. Alas, the same cannot be said for the warriors' corpses. Local records indicate that in 1487, Sir John Wells, Sir Egbert Willoughby, and Sir Richard Whitfield disappeared in this area. Now, if I could only determine what killed them. Another exciting find today. While digging in the garden next to the greenhouse, I unearthed a Celtic figurine of a creature I can only describe as a werewolf. This fits with the druid reverence for animals, but it's the combination of human and lupine features that intrigues me most. There is a local belief that the druids cursed their most powerful enemies, transforming them into beast guardians for their sacred oaks. Was this figurine linked to that superstition? Today I'm speaking with the widow Agnes Roth regarding the circumstances of her husband's death.
Thomas. His name was Thomas.
Yes. And last year, Thomas tried to set fire to the oak trees next to Rhodes Manor, correct?
Right. He came home that night, stricken dumb. Couldn't manage a single word after that. Makes you wonder what black magic protects those woods, doesn't it?
I suppose. If you're superstitious, that is.
Was it superstition that made him burn our house down a couple of days later? Was it superstition that made him stay inside and burn along with it?
I am sorry, Mrs. Roth. This is obviously a painful topic. Perhaps we should try this another day?
Perhaps you should go home right now and burn your own house down around you. Be a better use of your time, my lord.
This estate continues to provide tantalizing archaeological finds. Just yesterday, I uncovered a Viking battle axe, most likely from the mid-9th century. It's a stark reminder of the Viking conquest of this area, especially since I found this axe still embedded in a Celtic skull. The Viking arrival sounded the death knell for the Druids, but if local legends are to be believed, one group of Druids made their last stand right here on my estate. I hope to discover more about them. I've lost count of how many people have asked me why I bought Rhodes Manor. I should think the answer is self-evident. The Druid ruins, of course. The locals have long considered my plot of land haunted. In fact, the original house built on the property was burned by a mob of villagers back in the 1600s. The owner back then was a fellow named Edward Covington.
He vanished the night the house was put to the torch. Everyone presumed he'd been killed by the mob, but we may never know since his body was never found. My druid research turned up at least one surprise. A former owner of this estate, Owen Pugh, played a key role in starting up modern druidry in the 1780s. Though well-intentioned, the modern druidic movement bears more resemblance to Freemasonry than to the actual druids of old. I have to wonder if Pugh was aware of the history of this particular plot of land. Pugh was eventually driven out of the organization after he got arrested for building a full-scale Wicker Man on this property. He spent his last years at Hoxton House Lunatic Asylum. I only hope I don't wind up there myself.
Voyage of Despair is the next map in line, and this one also has phonograph cylinders that you can go find. These ones are very similar to Dead of the Night in the sense that the actual cylinder itself is tied to the message itself. The only difference here is instead of there being one phonograph, there are now 5, and I'm going to go over the cylinders first and then cover the phonographs last. There are 9 of these cylinders, and the first one can be found inside of the bridge. If you come over to like the captain's quarters on top of his sink, you'll find it here. The second one you can find is inside of provisions. If you look at this shelf, it'll be on the middle shelf. The third one you can find is inside of the dining hall. If you enter from the left side and see this first big ass pile of goop and sludge, it'll be sitting inside of a zombie's hand that's sticking out. You can find the fourth phonograph cylinder sitting inside of this planter in the lower grand staircase just past the mystery box location on the left side. The next one is on the aft decks. If you come over to where this ramp going up to the main deck is, just outside the map, sitting on this box, you can find it. If you make your way down to the cargo hold in front of this car, inside of this box that's broken open, that's where the next one can be located. On the promenade starboard deck, if you come over to where all this rubble is in the corner where all the ice is, inside of this box you can find the next one, and then the 8th one is going to be found inside the turbine room. There's going to be a zombie holding it right here. And then finally, the 9th one will be found down in the 3rd class berths. If you enter on the left side and you look up towards this zombie spawn, it's going to be sitting on this little ledge up top. You just need to jump and grab it. For all 5 of these phonograph locations, there are 2 next to each other inside of the 1st class lounge. One of them is sitting on this sofa, and then the second one is sitting on this rubble in front of the perk machine. The 3rd one you can find will be inside of the dining hall on the right side just before entering the kitchen. The 4th one is inside of the staterooms. It's going to be in this little room in the back right corner. And then the last and final gramophone, or I keep wanting to say gramophone, phonograph, is going to be inside of the millionaire suites. It'll be sitting right here on this table. One more quick thing, also very similarly to how Dead of the Night works. Whenever you want to use a phonograph cylinder, you just need to place it like normal, and then if you want to reuse the same phonograph, or considering that there's 9 cylinders and only 5 phonographs, you have to shoot each of the cylinders after they're done being listened to in order to place the next one.
Are you sure about this, Scarlet?
Bit late to be asking now, isn't it? You suggesting we don't do it?
Well, I'm certainly not saying we shouldn't not do it, if you follow. But we could just forget the artifact. Enjoy a relaxing, smooth voyage to New York City.
You're getting cold feet, aren't you?
Me? Heavens, no. I wouldn't know my feet were cold if they were frostbitten. Haven't had sensation in the ground hands for years. I suppose my concern, that is, concern from the old brain jar, is, well, what are the words? How do I put this? Place this delicately.
I'd try speaking coherently to start.
You haven't seen your father in 15 years. The first you hear from him, he's catapulted you into grave danger, and here you are, taking on the burden of an old man you've spent most of your life separated from.
You weren't at the mansion. You didn't see what I saw. This is not screwing around time.
Screws, nails, hammers, fingers. My point...
Yeah, you gonna get to that soon?
My point is, you appear rather level-headed considering the road, or rather the sea, we now travel. Pardon the pun. Are you all right?
Are you asking me if I'm all right because I'm behaving normally?
Sometimes, my dear, those who behave the most normally warrant the most concern.
I'm fine. Don't worry about me. You worry about keeping your medicinal habits under control.
Be quiet. They mustn't know.
We all know, Shaw.
No, not our friends. Don't care about them. The other passengers. You never know who may want a taste. I only have enough for me.
Shaw, for sake.
You know by now the importance of your mission. For all our attempts at progress, humanity has faltered. Self-interested men of cowardice and commerce have used our generous gifts to pursue violence and greed instead of growth and evolution. The benevolent nature of our former order limits their ability to achieve legitimate progress. We must circumvent them to save our fellow man. War is coming. We can no longer stand idly by and let humanity destroy itself. We must act. Humanity must be compelled, forced even, to achieve the enlightenment I promised all those years ago. You must secure the artifact. Only with the artifact can we reach mankind must witness their reckoning. Only through it can we deliver salvation.
Oh, this is the life, amigo. No wonder these aristocrats are all so fat. This food is both divine and devilish.
The only thing devilish here is your table manners. You eat like a pig.
Oh, you simply must try this fillet of duckling, Bruno. Here, have a bite.
Get that fork away from my face.
Ah, right, saving yourself for dessert. You must be looking forward to the French ice cream.
You think I want the ice cream because they label it French?
Do you not?
Why must you stuff your face like this? You will be worthless in a fight.
It is for that very reason, my French friend, that I am stuffing my face. Never fight on an empty stomach.
And all the wine?
I have only had 4 glasses.
5, monsieur.
I am just trying to sober up.
I cannot comprehend how Alistair associated with a man of your caliber.
Nor I you, Senor de la Croix.
De la Croix.
Yes, that is what I said. It's just that the Alistair I met was so full of life and energy. You, you are so morose and uptight.
I owe Alistair my life. That is all I will say on this subject.
Funny, Alistair showed me the time of my life. Perhaps you and I are not so different after all, eh?
I loathe this thought. I loathe it very much. Finish up. We have work to do.
But your French ice cream.
Enough!
But I'm not the only one. There is another group, this order. Like me, they seek to find the... Their intentions are nefarious at best. I hope to empower mankind with this discovery. They aim to... They cannot succeed. They are determined to... First, in my encounters with them, I've barely escaped with my life. They will try again. After all, I am an obstacle in their way. I threaten their... in far greater danger than I've allowed myself to acknowledge. The next time they come for me, they may very well get what they want. Though I haven't seen her in many, many years, I may need to reach out to Scarlet for help. She may not think fondly of her father, but I know if anyone is strong enough to overcome great adversity, it's she.
April 14th, 8 in the morning. Tonight is the night. The journey to Earth's redemption begins. My mission is clear. My heart beats purely. The orders will be done. The artifact, the body,
in the safe should be easy enough. The key, the mind around the daughter's neck, should be even easier. I'll wring her scrawny neck to get it. She will break, as her father did. But now I must study, return to my teachings. I must prepare for this great undertaking. Wait, what? Where are they? My recordings, they've gone. They were here. Where did that... I swear, if that bloody Irishman I'm quartered with touched my stuff... It appears someone has gone through my things and stolen my audio recordings. Devil knows where or why they've taken them. Surely they are still on the ship. I could probably find them. No, it doesn't matter now. There is no time. I must prepare without their guidance. Our journey begins tonight.
Bruno!
To the best of my knowledge, there are 3 artifacts, each with their own companion key. My expeditions have brought me 2 keys. Now for the artifacts, then to complete the trials. But what of a reward? To what end do we pursue these avenues of horror? Well, my friend, that's when we reach... That is our goal. The bastion, the greatest unknown, the unobtainable suddenly within our grasp. A discovery on this scale would be my legacy. No, it goes beyond my legacy. It would be a discovery unparalleled in the history of mankind. Imagine, pure, untapped. Too dangerous for mankind's hands. Yet in the right hands, in my hands, it can be used. It must be found, and I am the one to find it. Though I myself have not seen the artifact opened, the evidence I've gathered tells across several civilizations, whether it's 2000 BC or 500 AD, the records are... What are the odds? It is incredible. When the artifact is unlocked, the same event, when mind and body are one, the trial, the test of one's worthiness. Once the challenger has announced themselves, is released, transforming the environment around it to the trial's requirements. Gateways are locked. Life is undeath. Puzzles and riddles must be solved. But the trial does not abandon you to certain death. No. The gods watch over you. Tools of survival are provided. It is as if the trial wants you to succeed. And succeed you must. For once the trial is activated, you are locked in until completion. It is either victory or... There are always 2, mind and the body, each made for the other. Lock and key. Without the mind, the body is but an artifact, a relic from an ancient civilization. Beautiful and priceless though it may be, it is utterly useless. Not unlike Pandora's box, the artifact cannot be opened without the proper key. Brute force accomplishes nothing. A hammer won't even leave a dent. It is completely impenetrable. But that is for protection, for he is sent on a journey, one that cannot be stopped once started. That is why they must have the key. They must open it by their own volition. They must wish to inflict peril upon themselves. After all, the artifact does not wish to be opened. It is protecting it. It is a guard, a sentinel. Superior, It is the key, the crucial, no, essential ingredient to life itself. The power to create, to enlighten, to enhance. For centuries, it was believed extinguished, expunged from Earth. But when Shaw and I encountered it, I witnessed its power. It was everything. Primitive, formless. To call it unstable would be a disservice. It is chaotic. Raw chaos. And while it wields the power to manufacture unfiltered beauty and wonder, unsafe exposure to the raw material can... exposing the cruelty and savagery our evolution has buried. The lurking beast that we suppress shreds our skin and is revealed.
9 is next on the list of maps, but this only has 8 scrolls that you can find hidden around the map, which to me is super ironic considering Voyage had 9 radios and this one only has 8. I feel like it should have been reversed and is like a massive kick in the teeth when you think about it. But I digress. The first scroll that you can find will be found inside of the temple. If you come over here to this cage that's on the floor, you can find it sitting just inside. The second one you can find is inside of the pit. If you come over to this bucket that's knocked over, it's inside of that bucket. The third one you can find is down inside of the raw burial chamber. It's going to be inside of this clay vase on the floor. It's a little hard to see, but it's inside of that vase. Scroll number 4 is located inside of the Odin Zeus temple entrance. If you come over to this guy on the floor underneath his shield sitting on top of him, it's right there. The next one you can find is inside of the flooded crypts. If you come over to these bars in the wall, it's going to be found in the bottom left-hand corner. Making your way over to the Odin Tower entrance, if you come over to this grate inside of the wall on the barrel to the right, you can find the 6th scroll right there. In the basement of the Danu Tower, I'm not sure what this area is called. I don't know how to say that, but there, that one. Next to the SOG 9mm wall buy on the floor in the bottom left, you can find it right here. It's very hard to see, but it's there. For the 8th and final scroll, if you make your way into the crypts coming down from the Odin Zeus temple entrance, you'll find this crypt and it's right there. It's as soon as you turn into the crypts.
The resource was so plentiful and so fruitful. But the greed of man was too much. And soon what had existed the world over was extinguished. Humanity's gift reduced to crumbs. However, its expiration was not enough to temper their desires. Powerful enough to create an endless supply of that which they desired. But many believed too dangerous, for he who held it held unending power. So it was that they were formed. Individuals, men of science, philosophy, and reason, brought together to protect and keep it safe. For mankind could not be trusted with this dangerous knowledge. These were mortals, which meant their thoughts and beliefs could be swayed with the rotation of protectors and the passage of time. Once, they were persuaded they were wrong for keeping their knowledge private. They chose to unveil their knowledge to the world, allowing their information to become public. It represented a beacon of humanity's intelligence and potential. But their beacon of hope was a harbinger. Wars were fought, burned, took their knowledge and retired it from the public view. Once more, it fell below the surface of civilization. But they hadn't given up on humanity. They believed among Earth's billions who were worthy. So it was they came to create. The first matter, once wielded by ancient civilizations to create wondrous empires. They mined deep into the earth, recovering as much as they could carry. Emperors, kings, priests, no leader of man could resist its touch. For with it, their societies prospered, and their kingdoms grew. But the more they used it, the more generosity turned to greed, benevolence turned to violence, peace turned to war. Though they created wonders beyond comprehension, ruled civilizations, it was never enough. The power consumed them. Soon, they cared not for their people, only me. And so, one by one, their reigns ended, and their civilizations fell. The power that led to their rise.
How long have we been here now, Mr. Bradfish? Days? Weeks?
With you, Herr Barton, it feels like months.
Months. Yes. Months seems more accurate. With perpetual daylight, it is hard to tell. That is why I brought you down to the temple. Have you looked up at the stars?
No. When I'm down here, I'm usually too busy trying not to die.
The stars move. We do the bidding, their bidding, and it adjusts. You said something a long time ago. Appeasement.
I did? What of it?
Appeasement is how we escape this place, my boy. The gods must be appeased. They desire worship. They require sacrifice. I know what I must do.
I am not sure I follow.
Let me show you.
What are you doing? Wait! No! Think of what you're doing.
Relax, Mr. Bradfish. It will be over soon.
You swine!
It's what must be done, my boy.
I've done it. I did what you asked. Are you appeased? I am ready. Can I go home? Hello?
It started with the first, but soon their collection of knowledge grew. The further humanity progressed, the more boundaries of discovery were pushed, and man found all new ways to end their reign on Earth. When these discoveries were made, they would arrive and secure them, preserving them outside of humanity's reach. Over the centuries, their collection would grow, and its existence drifted into legend and myth, and became an object of mankind's ultimate pursuit.
This is Reginald Barton, and I am recording this for posterity. I am not entirely sure what's happened. There's no other way to put this. One moment I was inhaling fumes in a... I'm some sort of gladiator now? Fighting in an arena? Honestly, it doesn't make a lick of sense. I'm accompanied by my guide, a mercenary named Bitten Bratfish. Now, I'm not saying it's his fault we're here, but he is German. You can never be too sure.
Are you playing with that recording device? Now? These creatures have us overrun! Pick up your weapon!
I came here to find the Holy Grail. They say it resides in... I did not intend to travel back in time. Am I even back in time? Is this my body? Is this a dream? Am I still sitting in some cave?
Enough! Give me that, you swine! Stop recording! We are going to die!
I don't understand. I did as they asked. I provided an offering, yet I'm still here. The sun never sets. The horde never stops. They keep coming. I keep fighting. It never ends. Was I wrong? No, stop it. Don't go down that road, Barton. It's too late. No turning back. The clues were there. It all added up. It made sense. At least I thought it did. Was I wrong? This place is cursed. I am trapped in a life that is not my own. My body lay abandoned in a cave where no one can find me. Was I a fool? Was I too eager for glory? Wait, yes, Barton, you were a fool. You had the right idea, but you approached it all wrong. Maybe you are still alive in that cave, waiting to wake up. Yes, Barton, that's it. The answer was in front of you the whole time. The gods did require sacrifice. They require my sacrifice. Now, 4 towers, 4 gods, 4 types of worship. Danu, Odin, Ra, and Zeus.
Really? Have you really turned that confounded thing back on? We get one moment of solace from those shrieking devils, and you're jabbering away into that thing.
How can these 4 be here together? There has never been evidence to suggest they were aware of each other. It is not possible.
The wounds on your back suggest all of this is very possible. Let me take a look.
Oh, never mind me. What does this all mean? Do the gods hold the key to ending our nightmare?
Perhaps they hold the key to you not getting both of us killed.
I think I'm losing my grip on reality. I hear voices. They cry out from the walls. I hear them calling.
All I hear is an American aristocrat on the brink of insanity. Focus. Remember your mission. This is just a test we must complete. Think of it as a game. Nothing more. Finishing it will get you access to the... That is why you're here.
Finding is the last thing on my mind. I'm not sure we can even leave this place.
What are you suggesting, Barton? Do you believe we're trapped here?
How else do you explain what's happened? Endless loops of carnage and violence. No clear goal in front of us?
Regretfully, I have no rational explanation, but we must endeavor to escape. Perhaps appeasing the gods is part of that. I don't know. You're supposed to be the smart one.
Yes, appeasement. Interesting, Mr. Bratfish. Interesting.
Now we have the absolute final map, Ancient Evil. And this is my favorite map within the Chaos storyline. This one also, though, has a bunch of different things within it. And it's not really a bunch, it's only 2. So we have 8 scrolls, but then we have 24 oracle tales that tell you basically Greek mythology. So here's how we're going to break it down. I'm going to go over the 8 scrolls first, and then I will go over the 24 Greek mythology little tidbits and pieces of information. Starting out with the scrolls, the first one can be found at the Spartan Monument just to the left side of this giant bull statue. It's going to be right here. Bull, not bowl. You can find the second one at the intersection of treasuries. It'll be sitting on top of this bench right here. You can find the third one at the entrance to the amphitheater right here, sitting on this bench or this like sofa. You can find the fourth one just in front of Pack-a-Punch on the left side, sitting on top of all this rubble. The next one is found inside of the Stoa of Athenians. If you come over to this boat right here, it'll be sitting in the corner on the floor. The sixth scroll you can find is at the River of Sorrow. If you come over to this knocked over statue, it'll just be sitting on the corner of the base. The seventh one is at the Cliff Ruins. If you come over to the bridge, it's just sitting on the floor right here. Finally, the eighth scroll is found in the Python Pass. If you come up to the upper level, it'll be found on the floor right here. Next, we have the 24 Greek mythology messages from the Oracle. These ones are more so focused on the actual Greek mythology itself, but they still tie into the overall storyline of Chaos in total. These ones, however, I am not going to be showing you or telling you exactly where they are. Instead, up in the top left-hand corner of the screen, you're going to see the locations where they are. When it comes to listening to them, the theater mode camera is going to be pointed directly at the object that you need to interact with in order to get these to play. And there's 24, but these aren't like normal. These could be paintings, they could be random objects around the map, they could be pretty much anything. So just know that wherever that theater mode camera is pointing, that is what you need to interact with in order to hear these. The whole reason I'm not actually explaining where these are is because a lot of them are right next to each other, like within a few feet. So I figured rather than just trying to go through all 24, it's easier for you to just listen to it and see it. So without further ado, let's go through them.
Day 4. The Pythia has agreed to my demands. Not at first, but I managed to persuade her. Soon, she will trigger the Sentinel trial. My men now gather in the Temple of Apollo. They have been trained, they know what to expect, and they are terrified. My men are no fools. Three days have passed since my arrival, and now my trap is sprung. The Pythia has 2 sisters. My men have imprisoned them both. No small task, I can assure you. With them in my custody, I have all the leverage I need to make the Pythia more compliant. And if she still refuses, well, I have her sister's 7th finger to show how serious I am. This morning I arrived in Delphi, to a hero's welcome, of course. They recognized me the moment they saw my steed. I made a great show of disarming before my private audience with their oracle, the Pythia. Much was made of my admirable humility. I gave her my demands. She augured disaster and refused. What she fails to foresee is how far I will go to force her cooperation. It has been 2 weeks, Alceus. How are the prisoners holding up?
They live, my prince. What information do you wish me to extract?
Only their pain. The Pythia will sense it, and she will know the price for resisting my commands.
Yes, my prince. I shall spare them no agony. Megapentes, fetch me
The flesh wounds. Day 6 on the trial has begun. Epithia completed the artifact and I confess I was unready to see this whole city die. The witch promised she would tip the scales in my favor, and at first she did. But I think she is holding back, leading me slowly. I am losing men every day. Time to remind her what she has to lose. It has been 6 months, I think. And despite her paltry boons and whispered hints, I am no closer to finishing this thrice-damned trial. Half my men have fallen. We are running out of food, and to top it all off, my hostages tried to escape yesterday, killing poor Alceus in the process. Obviously, I've told Epithia none of this. But her sisters have become a liability. It has been over a year. I have lost count of the days, and the deaths. Most of my men are gone, torn to pieces by the evil we unleashed. The evil she unleashed for me. But if I can just complete this test and prove myself worthy, I shall take my father's throne the same way he won it. Final message. I have been fighting forever. It feels like all I've ever done. Epithia tricked me. Trapped in a chamber that she said contained the key to victory. She said I had sacrificed enough. And I believed her. Come, you rotting swine! Feast on royal blood! But not even death will keep me
This city was dedicated to the sun god Apollo, whose arrows felled a monster named Python on this very site. This is also why men referred to his oracle as the Pythia. Ever young Apollo, shining from on high, most beloved of the gods. He left a trail of broken hearts and bastard children wherever he went. When the trial started, chaos transformed the city, spreading like a pestilence. My enemies stationed guards out here. They should have been more careful where they stood. Wondering who they were? Members of a prominent family, immortalized simply because they could afford it. This city is as much a monument to vanity as it is to the gods. These are the Nereids, sea nymphs, along with Poseidon. They represented the beauty of the ocean. About Poseidon, the less said, the better. The Hesperides, 3 sisters who guarded the apples of immortality. There were several sisterly trios in those days, some less beauteous than others, all woefully mistreated. Mighty Bellerophon, first to tame Pegasus, slayer of Chimera. He also murdered his brother, but all anyone remembers are the good deeds. Behold Bellerophon, who thought himself worthy of treading the halls of Olympus. Zeus struck him down for his insolence. Heracles, the most venerated hero of my age. Never mind that he enslaved and murdered women, starting with his first wife. This is Themistocles, who saved Athens from the Persians, only to be exiled and live out his days in service to the Persians. Never forget, your strongest ally could be your worst enemy tomorrow. King Acrisius locked his daughter and grandson in this chest, then cast them upon the waves to die. If only it had worked. One evil act could have prevented so much more suffering. Once, pilgrims came from near and far, offering their riches to secure my blessings. When I was forced to begin the Sentinel trial, not one of them could buy their way out. This is the sculptor Pygmalion. He fell in love with his own creation, so the gods brought her to life. Her name was Galatia. She left him in less than a year. King Acrisius, learning from the oracle that he is destined to be murdered by his own grandson, he imprisoned his daughter so she could never bear a child. But the fates are not easily cheated. This statue commemorates a bull who led fishermen to bountiful catches. In gratitude, they sacrificed the bull to Poseidon. Men have always repaid kindness with betrayal. There were many Pythia before me, poor young girls, forced to breathe noxious vapors, risking death if their prophecy was not to the listener's liking. An apple from the garden of the Hesperides. It was said to grant immortality. Alas, things are seldom what they appear to be. Persephone, queen of the underworld. She spent half the year in Hades, causing the earth to grow cold and barren. I wonder what calamities befall the world of men while you are here with me. Hephaestus himself labored here, forging the Calaidones, the Talos, and Pandora herself. A misshapen brute crafting exquisite beauty. Never judge by appearance. Never. Behold fair Andromeda, offered as sacrifice by her parents to the sea monster Cetus. The so-called hero who rescued Andromeda murdered her fiancé and claimed her for himself. This belonged to the first woman, Pandora, whom Hephaestus created on his forge. Her fate was a warning, not to be wary of women, but of any human not born of man. The Talos was an artificial being who guarded Crete. Pandora was an artificial being who unleashed all evils. Which one are you, my champion? A Talos or a Pandora? This arrow came from Apollo's quiver. Let it serve as a warning never to tempt the wrath of the gods. The gods of Olympus often gave gifts to their champions. These were for a demigod who should have been strangled in the crib.
And now we finally made it to the end of the video, which I am so glad that we're at the end of this video. This one took me a really long time to make, and just doing my own voice recording for this one was a nightmare because I don't write everything down and I have the memory of a goldfish. So I had to keep re-recording a bunch of things because either I forget or I stutter over myself or I have two conflicting different pieces of information. So it just made it really rough. I wanted to say thank you guys for watching the video and sticking around to the end if you did. If you have any other video ideas that you would like to see from me, go ahead and drop them down in the comments, or if you just wanted to say anything at all, go ahead and leave it down in the comments, because I love seeing from you guys, and it really does make my day whenever I can make you guys happy with something you've either A, never seen before, or B, didn't know exactly how to get to. So without droning on any longer, thank you guys again for watching the video, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.